iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Wednesday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate that greatly. And we do have a stacked up show for you today. We'll get you caught up on what's happening out there. Deb's Woke News will do that at 3:20. 4 o'clock, Animal House. Our buddy Daryl Payne stops by from Paw Affection Dog Training. So if you have questions about your dog's horrible behavior, Daryl will try to help you out of that. 5:20, Scott Maxwell back. 5:40, trivia, of course, in the 6 o'clock hour. It's Ross Thoughts and Last Call. Your calls, text, and talkbacks all day long. Welcome to the show. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead producer, Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
Comedy alien, Ross Padgett.
We should bring back horses as vehicles.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Find us easily on social media. Instagram, Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, just at Jim Colbert Show. And, of course, all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. That happens in my neighborhood all the time. People ride horses around all the time.
Oh, man, they're on to something.
That wouldn't be the worst thing ever, by the way.
Bring it back.
That says a little about your tax bracket.
Yeah, does it really?
Yeah. People have horses?
It's out in the country, just out there in the middle of nowhere. But you're right. All right, 407-916-1041. Text. That's just a bunch of old women in tight pants is all it is, and helmets, all riding around. Although the neighborhood was like an equestrian neighborhood, it's not that much anymore, really. Just a few people have them.
Bummer about the helmets, though. I get it. Safe, be safe.
Yeah.
But I, skateboarding and helmets have a little stigma.
Sure.
I disagree with it.
Mm-hmm.
However, horses with helmets.
Yeah. Horses are dangerous. You're up there pretty far. You don't really realize it. And if have you ever ridden a horse?
I have.
Hey,
I'm just saying that the helmet takes away from the the John Wayne aspect of riding a horse.
Yeah, the wind in your hair, the reins in your teeth, both pistols going crazy. I get that.
Yeah. And then you just got a helmet.
But I will tell you that is 100% right. But I know you rode one in Banff, right?
Yeah, Chester. I'll never forget him.
Right.
You never forget your first, Jim.
But that was just a cloppy kind of horse, right? A canyon horse. He just basically
that back.
Did the horse run?
No.
Okay, that's my point. If you've ever been on a horse running, it is horrifying if you don't know what you're doing. It is terrifying.
Yeah,
because at any given moment, you feel like you're going to fall off. It doesn't feel like it feels like the horse is having a great time and does not really care about your experience, which is terrifying. Horses can be very scary.
I mean, yeah, he didn't run because I didn't ask Chester to run.
I don't think Chester's built to run, buddy.
I think Chester had it. Don't judge Chester.
I think Chester was probably built to carry you around, and that's it. Pretty much that.
You don't know him.
You're right, I don't. All right, 407-916-1041. So the search continues for the lost submarine, the Titan. That's up there over the Titanic. Now they're searching an area that's twice the size of Connecticut. So my theory yesterday, with my morbid Black Mirror theory of this thing coming to the surface in an area they haven't found it yet, and then running out of air while it's on the surface. That was my first Black Mirror situation, right? Which would be horrifying. But you would think, though, with all the presence they have out there, if that thing surfaced, they would be able to find it, right? They would have found it by now if it was surfaced.
I mean...
And now they say that they've heard some banging sounds.
Yeah.
Via, I guess, a sonar from an airplane or something?
Well, from what I read this morning, that apparently is what you're instructed to do during a maritime emergency.
Right,
if you're in a submarine or submersible, is to bang on the hull.
Yeah, like Morse code?
It's kind of like Morse code because that banging can be picked up by the sonar.
And you do it in a pattern so they know it's not an anomaly.
Says why they've been saying every 30 minutes they've been hearing the banging.
Exactly. So I got a couple questions about this. More Black Mirror stuff from me, all right? So yesterday I said the Black Mirror, because I'm watching Black Mirror. Watched 2 more episodes last night. Did
you watch Joan is Awful?
That show crushes, and you're right. Joan is Awful was great.
Yeah.
Did you watch any more?
So this is
no.
So this is your Black Mirror theory. This is Season Jim episode Colbert.
Season Jim episode 1. Yesterday was the thing surfaces, but in an area where nobody can find it, and they wind up dying on the surface just because it runs out of oxygen and it's sealed up. That's Black Mirror scenario 1. Black Mirror scenario 2. they figure out how much oxygen they can save if certain people aren't breathing.
Oh.
And they start doing the math on who they take out to extend the life of the total sub while it's down there, because now people are there. Now they get this French thing coming. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, today, and launch today, but they only have 12, 16 hours of air? Theoretically, I believe is what it is.
I heard 15.
In theory.
Right? So with that said, they could extend this by hours just by taking somebody out. Now there's what? But everybody's old except the 19-year-old, which is the son of the billionaire. Right?
No, he's. I don't know if the Pakistani is he a billionaire? The businessman, the Pakistani
that's
businessman.
what I heard.
I think there's two billionaires on board, right?
Yeah.
At least 3.
Is there? Okay.
You know what they needed? A minimum wage Todd.
They needed
a minimum wage Brad to really help them out and go, no.
Yeah. Now my first thing is they should take out the guy who put him down there. The guy who runs the entire company, who operates this flimsy POS to get him down to the bottom of the ocean. But Deb said, well, he's driving the thing.
Yeah.
But there's no light, right? That's the other thing.
He's
people
got
are
the game
forgetting.
controller.
Like I don't think there's light down there, right? Like wasn't there another submarine guy who said he was stuck in a situation like this, and one of the most horrifying aspects of it was that you're sitting there and you're freezing cold and it's absolutely black. But I'm sure they have cell phones.
No, I mean that was one of 2 scenarios. If the submersible didn't implode, then it lost all power, which is why the 2-way communication system via the pings and the text messages. So, yeah, basically you're in a long metal tube in complete and utter darkness. No light is reaching that depth of the ocean.
They've been there since Saturday, right?
Sunday.
They've been there since Sunday. Well, they went down before. Did they go down Sunday and then
Sunday morning?
Got it.
Around 6 a.m. and then they were due back by 9:13 p.m. And when they didn't arrive, that's when they they had lost contact within an hour and 45 minutes of first going in.
It's a total 12-hour trip, 2.5 hours down, 6 hours down there, and then 2.5 hours back, or something of that nature. Maybe 4 or 5 or 6, maybe more hours down.
The launch was searched after they didn't return Sunday night.
So there's no. I mean, obviously. I don't think anybody purged their bowels before that.
Yep.
So I don't think this thing has a bathroom. It's basically
it's a tube.
It's just a tube that seals on one end, and of course it's got the Game Boy there.
There's not even seating.
So now, there's not seating. You just sit on the floor.
Right. Yeah.
It's like a plane without seats.
And since you can't urinate, you're not going to want to bring fluids.
Yeah, you can't urinate, but
you figure got to be without water.
Well, they probably have some water. I mean, you figure they probably had a bottle of water or something, but they still haven't eaten or had anything to drink theoretically, other than maybe snacks foods.
Yeah, that we know of.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think you got this whole cold mountain theory. I think they're onto something.
Buddy, I'm going to tell you, if I was down there and I'm like, look, man, I'm 30 and you guys are 75.
Yeah.
We need to start making some notes here, and somebody needs to start changing some money over here, and then we're choking people out one by one to buy us more time.
Getting over the fact that we are casually and flippantly just talking about what's going on with these people suffering through the most terrible times of their lives.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they're still alive.
Right.
However,
I've never been through a terrible time.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd have to go for the biggest oxygen consumer. So is that the largest person, or is it the person most likely to suffer from anxiety?
See, I would think it's the heavy breather. Man, if I was down there, I'd be breathing like a mouse.
But see, that's the thing. You have to assume that everyone knows what everyone else's threshold is for reaching the edge of mental ability to hang it together, right?
Oh, yeah, because everybody's losing their mind right now.
I don't know if everybody is. I would count on Hamish or whatever, the British explorer who lives in Dubai, and the French explorer to maybe have faced circumstances before where it may be a little bit closer to life and death than, say, a Pakistani businessman and his 19-year-old son.
Exactly.
Those two, I think, would be the first to start freaking out.
And the other thing I was going to ask is, what happens if they do make it up? What happens to the guy who owns this company? Because you have to understand, the cost of this is going to be in the tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Tens of millions of dollars to get this guy, get these people back up if that happens. Now, thank God you got some billionaires on there whom I'm sure will write checks and make sure everybody's happy for saving their life. But I mean, this guy, well, for one thing, this business is done. We know that, right? There's no way possible this is running again. Nobody's going to pay money to get on this thing again. So even if they said, yeah, it's still cool to go down there, not one sane human being is going to get on this thing again. And I'll say it, even if it's just going to the bottom of the St. John's, nobody's getting on it.
But their future probably depends on what they determine was the cause of the problem. Was it, neglect or malfeasance or?
Well, the design from the onset is bad, right? Hasn't that been like half the story? Is how they used the word janky in a major news story from a major network. The guy from CBS just called it janky.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well.
Yeah,
well,
no.
I mean,
my wife is the only person I've ever heard use that word.
And there was a 2018
looking at you
wrongful termination suit. And during that time that there was that wrongful termination suit, there was also a letter apparently written to OceanGate CEO from a panel of like maritime experts, engineers, saying, please, basically begging the company, please get this vessel tested by an expert third party, because the way it's designed and built right now, you're really exposing, your guests to catastrophic circumstances, consequences.
And the guy simply didn't want to incur that cost. That was the exact thing. I read that very same story. He goes, I just don't want to pay for that because I guess it's relatively expensive.
Yeah.
And do you guys know also the other side story with the British billionaire's son?
No, I haven't heard this.
Yeah, he went to a Blink-182 concert.
Oh, that's right. The stepson or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he went to a Blink-182 show to chill, I guess.
Yeah.
To get it off his mind.
Yeah,
with some old pop rock.
And that went viral and made a lot of news of like, yo.
What's he supposed to be doing though, I guess? I don't know.
It's just optics. That
apparently
good.
I know News Junkie was kind of following this. Cardi B kind of called him out.
Yep.
And then this kid also reached out to a OnlyFans model.
Oh my God! Really?
Playing the sympathy card.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if he's one of those billionaire kids, he's about to be really rich. You have to assume he's in the will. Can't change it down there.
What happens if you?
I don't know, man.
Didn't have a will.
So sketch.
I mean, if you're a billionaire, you have a will.
Yeah. If you're a billionaire, chances are you have a will. Chances are it's not just in some safe in your house.
You'd like to think so, and yet look at all the big stars that have passed. Aretha Franklin, no will.
That's right. Yeah.
I can't remember. She was married to Ellen DeGeneres for a while. Her name just escaped.
Portia de Rossi?
No, not Portia de Rossi. The first. They didn't get Anne Heche.
Yes. Yeah.
Anne Heche. In fact, her son just got hit with like tens of thousands of dollars of her credit card bills.
Wow, man. All right, 407-916-1041. You can text us easily at 77031. Got a busy show today. Animal House, Daryl Payne will be here. So if you do have issues with your dog and its behavior, dog specifically, by the way, you're welcome to text in a question or call when he comes in. He'll be in for a couple segments. Scott Maxwell back from vacation today to talk about some Florida news. He said he backed off all the news, just checked it in the morning. That would be it. Then spend time with family. And he wrote this whole column about just checking into the news, just reminding him how completely insane this state is. And, of course, we'll have Raw's thoughts and trivia as well. Deb, news?
As the search continues, a Central Florida couple is suing the company over the Titanic voyage fraud claims. A report shows a SeaWorld trainer was seriously injured by an orca. And Shaq is going to host his own music festival in Fort Worth. We'll tell you all about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
You got it. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back with more of the Jim Colbert Show and Deb's News right after this.
Sure, you could use it to work out.
Are you ready to work together to create a healthier life?
Or you could just say, Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looking at some slowdowns on I-4 this afternoon due to a crash blocking 2 lanes eastbound on the interstate at 535. Traffic is nearly at a standstill on this part of the roadway, so make sure to give yourself extra time or find an alternate route around these delays. Another crash causing stop-and-go delays on Sand Lake Road at Dr. Phillips Boulevard. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Marco's Pizza. If it's possible to have too much pepperoni on one pizza, then Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico pushes the limit deliciously. Order one today at marcos.com. Marco's. Pizza lovers get it.
This Earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Midsummer Days. We're celebrating with fun in-store events for IKEA family members and lots of savings.
Oh, hi. I'm looking for extra chairs to host my pickleball team dinner.
We can help you save on that and more.
Great. And that flower crown looks amazing.
Come make your own in-store on June 23rd through 25th. Plus, buy tickets to the June 23rd Swedish Midsummer Buffet at your local store. Go to IKEA-USA.com/midsummer for more details. Offer valid 5/30 to 7/4. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store on IKEA-USA.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
So, what could you do with 8 hours? With that much time, probably a lot, right? Or nothing at all sounds pretty good too. With an 8-hour battery life, a vape device from Blue gives you the freedom to unplug. So relax, disconnect, or just let yourself focus on getting your own stuff done with a full 8 hours of unlit you time. Blue, get unlit. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Blue is a trademark of Fonum Holdings 4BV. Copyright 2022. Fonum US LLC.
Where are you? Asteroid City.
My word, it's hot.
From director Wes Anderson.
Welcome, junior stargazers.
What do those pulses indicate?
There's an alien.
Placing all witnesses under group arrest.
How long can they keep us in Asteroid City?
I'm in no hurry. I like the desert. I like aliens.
Jason Schwartzman, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks.
What a strange experience this is.
Asteroid City, rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters everywhere this Friday.
Steve Kramer here with a divorce tip. Inheritance isn't a marital asset unless you handle the money wrong or your divorce wrong. Then you can lose it to your ex. Call Trenley and Kramer, TK Law. We do divorce. One firm for life.
Fine jewelry is more affordable than ever right now thanks to IDC's killer zero-interest finance offer. Now through July 2nd, you can get the amazing value price IDC is famous for and enjoy zero-interest financing for 5 years. So that $6,000 diamond ring or tennis bracelet is just $100 a month. While everyone else is raising rates, IDC is rolling back to zero. All hand-picked GIA diamonds are included, so it's easier than ever to upgrade her diamond. Don't miss this limited time offer, only from International Diamond Center.
You've been hearing about IDC's incredible 5-year zero-interest finance offer. But did you know that all of IDC's designers are included in this? Names like Decore and Baraggio, Simon G, Kirk Cara. Get the handcrafted ring you've always dreamed about and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. And yes, all IDC diamonds are included too, from 1 carat to 20 carats, all shapes. Trust me, do not miss this chance to get the lowest interest rate on the planet. Zero interest for 5 years at International Diamond Center.
4 Orlando locations. Unapproved credit.
I like to cook on the Big Green Egg. Why? It's impressive and everything turns out great on the Big Green Egg. If you don't have one, you got to go to Wassey's Meat Market and get a Big Green Egg. They have the lowest prices in the country. They also have all the accessories. They even have a classroom set up to teach you all the basic techniques on the Big Green Egg and advanced techniques. When you get the Big Green Egg from Wassey's Meat Market, there's a lifetime guarantee. So it's Wassey's Meat Market. Check them out on Instagram or just go to their website, Wassey'sMeatMarket.com. In Melbourne on Wickham Road, it's Wassey'sMeatMarket.com.
When you order food for work on EasyCater.com, we've got your back. Real humans are here to help with your order every step of the way, making sure everything goes right, even behind the scenes without you knowing. Confirming and double confirming with the restaurant that everything is on track. If there's a problem,
thanks for calling EasyCater.
Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll answer in seconds. We're right here with 100,000 restaurants, working hard to ensure the food arrives on time and is ordered. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Don't let earache from swimmer's ear, clogged ears, or allergies ruin your day. Get fast, effective relief from the pain and itching with Hyland's Earache Drops, the #1 best-selling earache treatment for over 10 years. See why it's received thousands of 5-star reviews and was awarded Best Over-the-Counter Medicine and Health Product in Earache Relief by U.S. News and World Report. Find Hyland's Earache Drops in the eye and ear aisle at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
So there I was, deep in the heart of the jungle. You know, solving all the puzzles, doing my thing. Then I see it. The lost treasure of Simia. I grab it and hightail it out of there in my Nissan Rogue. Suddenly, arrows. Fire. Now, I know this may sound like an epic tale of adventure, but it's a Nissan sales event ad. The temple crumbles, boom, crash, but I'm too fast with my trusty VC turbo engine.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select 2023 Nissan Rogue trims. Availability is limited. Shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. For well-qualified buyers, 0% APR financing for 36 months on new 2023 Rogue, excluding S-Trim and dealer stock. Example, 36 months financing at $27.78 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. N7523.
Welcome to The Good Stuff. I'm Jacob Schick, a third-generation combat Marine.
And I'm his co-host and wife, Ashley Schick. We believe everyone has a story to tell, not only about the peaks, but the valleys they've been through to get them to where they are today. We're joined by some amazing guests who share the lessons they've learned that shaped who they are and what they're doing to pay it forward and give back.
Listen to The Good Stuff on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wherever you go, you're covered with the nationwide lifetime warranty at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
We now return to
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Still doing tacos for talkbacks. Just get the iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio once you get it. Use that little microphone to send it on down the line. Friday, we'll choose 6 people to get $40 gift cards from Tijuana Flats. So enjoy that 2 for $20 special they have going. It is a killer. Really good. 2 entrees, 2 drinks, and an appetizer for $20.
Boom. Every Friday and Saturday in June and July. So limited time. Take advantage of it at Tijuana Flats. And if you need any more details, we got them on our website, realradio.fm/taco. And send us a talkback.
That's right. Everybody entered or everybody who leaves one, regardless if it gets played, gets entered. So again, just get the iHeartRadio app, go to Real Radio, and send it on down the line. Welcome back. I am Jim, Ross, and Jack right over there. Let's get a check of the news. Here is Deb.
And now, it's time for Woke News. It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole woke on the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, as always, Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. Before we kick off with the big story of the day, I did just happen to look out the window behind Jimmy's shoulder and realized it's nighttime.
Oh, yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
no, it's not.
Oh, wow.
We have a very, very strong line of thunderstorms that are basically stretching all the way from Volusia County all the way down toward Polk County. Just about ready to take over I-4. And if you're headed to the airport, be aware there's an airport weather warning until 4 o'clock this afternoon, as well as a special weather statement until 3:30. And I don't know if you guys heard, but there was a British Airways flight that was diverted from Miami to Orlando yesterday that spent 7+ hours on the tarmac.
Which is a hoot, by the way.
Oh, that's so much fun if you've ever done it.
There's nothing in the world like half air conditioning in a tube with strangers.
Thank you for the segue, Jimmy, because a Central Florida couple is suing the company that owns the missing vessel used to explore the Titanic wreckage. Mark and Sharon Hagel from Orange County, specifically Winter Park, filed a lawsuit several months ago against the CEO of Ocean Gate in connection to fraud allegations. The couple, who were also, I believe, gone on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origins, they went to space as well, claims they invested up to $200,000 to go on the vessel in 2018 and were knowingly strung along until the trip was ultimately canceled.
Wow.
Meanwhile, search efforts for the missing vessel are intensifying. The U.S. Coast Guard says 10 search assets will be on the scene about 900 miles off the coast of Cape Cod by Thursday morning. Underwater noises, like you mentioned, were heard, but the Coast Guard said searches haven't yielded any results yet. Crews have been searching for the submersible with 5 people on board since it was reported as overdue on Sunday. It's believed the vessel has less than 24 hours of oxygen remaining. I heard about 15 hours. Yeah. But thanks to someone who texted us at 77031, the other aspect we weren't thinking about is the carbon dioxide that everyone is giving off. And if their CO2 scrubbers shut down, would that be hypoxia when you're overtaken by all the CO2 in the air?
There's no oxygen.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
or too little oxygen, I should say.
But I was wondering what the so that's the other issue. That
All
they're
kinds of
talking
fun
about.
stuff happening.
Exactly. Well, while we're dealing with the squirrely weather outside, Tropical Storm Brett is maintaining its strength as it continues to head toward the Caribbean. According to the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Brett still has winds of 60 miles per hour, and it's about 645 miles east of the Windward Islands. Now, Brett is expected to move across parts of the Lesser Antilles by tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, then move across the eastern Caribbean Sea on Friday before dissipating on Saturday.
Right.
The storm is posing no threat to Florida or the U.S. as of today, but what is posing a threat are the thunderstorms that we're dealing with outside right now, so much so that Marion County is helping communities combat flooding after recent downpours. Officials are giving up to 10 sandbags per person at 4 participating locations throughout the day today. Now, people will have to fill up their own bags, but there will be crews at the Ocala and Bellevue sites to help if needed. The service will take place at the Martel Recycling Center, Bellevue Sportsplex, Ed Crosley Center, and Jarvie Gant Park. The sites will reopen tomorrow starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and not a bad idea if you know your property is prone to flooding, because we're looking at least this kind of rain continuing well through the weekend into early next week.
So that's good news, though, that Brett isn't going to be a storm.
Exactly. It's not going to, it's supposed to dissipate, won't really be impacting outside of, some high winds and rain. But
that's good news.
And that's got to be
great news.
That's got to be not the first time that a Brett has fallen short.
Yeah.
Looking after the stepdads on that one.
That's right. Thanks, guys.
The Lake County School District is facing legal backlash after it restricted access to a book about same-sex parents that are penguins. Several students and children's book authors filed a lawsuit against the district and the Florida Board of Education this week after pulling And Tango Makes Three.
Yeah.
The group wants the book, which tells the story about a penguin family with 2 fathers, back on school shelves. The suit is also claiming a state law banning classroom instruction of gender identity and sexual orientation is unconstitutional. The district limited access to about 40 books with LGBTQ plus themes after the legislation was passed.
Imagine raging, being furious over gay penguins. Those 2 words.
I ain't having it. I ain't taking it no more. Get them gay penguins out of them schools.
And it's based on a true story out of the New York, isn't it, the Central Park Zoo?
Yeah.
The 2 penguins from the Central Park Zoo. Yeah.
I know that that's common in the penguin culture, that they will same-sex it up sometimes and raise babies.
Hell yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know this child's book was like a biography.
Yeah,
it's a real story about 2 male penguins at the Central Park Zoo who were given a chick to raise, and they ended up raising the chick.
They do that. That's part of their culture.
It's against God's will is what it is.
So penguins are going to hell. The worst place for a penguin.
And my God, listen, they're going to hell and irony hell.
They're going to ironic hell.
Yeah. Penguin don't belong down there. You know where he likes to live.
The Flagler County School District will not arm its teachers with guns, at least for now. I'm one who's a little bit surprised this decision was made.
We're going to give them gay penguins instead.
The school board decided not to advance a proposal in a 3-2 vote during yesterday's meeting. The Guardian program would have allowed certain staff members to carry firearms on campus. The board says it may reconsider the program in the future. In the meantime, there's at least 1 resource officer at each school throughout the district. And let's hope they're not like my next story, because the state of Florida is expected to rest its case against Scott Peterson, the ex-Broward County deputy and school resource officer charged with failing to confront the Parkland killer. Now, on the stand today, Broward Sheriff's homicide detective John Curcio testified about the chaos and confusion over where the shots were coming from. You've seen a lot of the blue backing the blue when it comes to other officers testifying in Peterson's trial, because Peterson himself claims, hey, he would have confronted the gunman, but he thought the shots came from a sniper outside. Again, he could be sentenced to nearly a century in prison.
Holy moly.
All right, tuition for out-of-state students attending Florida universities could soon be going up. This would be a change for a lot of families. The State University Board of Governors are going to meet tomorrow to discuss a proposal to allow the universities to raise tuition for students who come from other states to attend school in Florida. The presidents and trustee chairs have written a letter to the board endorsing the increase. They also want the authority to set their own tuition rates. The last time out-of-state tuition was raised was during the
Carter administration.
not quite that long.
No, I was actually going to say Reagan, but
2012-2013 school year. Still, it's been 10 years.
Yeah. Obama?
No, but Donald Trump
Yeah.
is sharing his displeasure with Governor DeSantis' White House run. Trump told Fox News yesterday that it was very disloyal of DeSantis to run for president against him. The former president says he got DeSantis elected governor after endorsing him in 2017 when DeSantis' campaign was totally dead.
Yeah.
Trump also says before his endorsement, DeSantis was getting out of the race and even looking for other jobs.
I mean, I don't know how accurate that is, but it is accurate. They probably got him elected. His endorsement probably pushed him over the edge.
Trump adds that while many say loyalty doesn't mean anything in politics, to him, it does.
Yeah, it does not.
Meanwhile, there's a sign that Governor DeSantis may be gaining on Donald Trump. A CNN poll released yesterday shows DeSantis in second place now with 26% support. That's his highest number since a CNN poll released last month. Trump still leads in the new poll by 21 points, but that's 6 points less than the lead he had prior in the CNN poll and prior to his indictment.
And you'll see that continue to fall. Eventually, that will continue to fall, and that will even out more as this moves forward, because his interview with Brett Baer was a complete disaster. It may have actually added charges because he's incapable of shutting up. And he just, his mouth is just a gun pointing at his own head. He's just his own worst enemy. So you'll see this tide changing soon. People are coming to their senses about him. Can't win. And Republicans are going to realize he can't win. So you got to find somebody else you get behind. Asa, Mike Pence, pick somebody else, because that guy cannot win.
Can't play with him. Can't practice with him.
Something I was hoping, well, maybe next week, Scott Maxwell will be able to talk to about us, but the deck seems to be stacked in favor of using tourism revenue to expand the Orange County Convention Center.
Oh, man.
That's what Mike Thomas said recently while announcing his resignation from the Orange County Tourist Development Tax Citizen Advisory Task Force. Now, in his resignation letter, Thomas wrote the convention center has had an outsized presence since the committee began, and no other competitor for those funds have had the same opportunity. Task Force co-chair Jane Healy denies Thomas's claim, and she tells Orlando Sentinel she hasn't seen one indication that the fix is in.
Not one, huh?
No?
Yeah.
If that thing gets bigger,
and it will,
we should be way more upset about that.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, Ross. I agree with you. And that's the drum that Scott Maxwell keeps trying to beat, right? Because we still have people who have to live,
hundreds of millions of dollars.
An hour or more away from where they work. Then they have to take a 3-hour bus ride because public transportation is crap.
Those problems are fixed. The roads are done. We're good.
What we need is another couple 100,000 square foot.
Yes.
That way we can sit and watch it.
Like, really, take a moment, picture that convention center.
Any bigger.
And then imagine somebody going, yeah, it just needs another upgrade or two.
I tell you straight up, have you ever walked it?
Yeah,
you can't.
Right.
It's a 30 to 40 minute walk.
Yeah.
From one end to and that doesn't even include the north one, the new one that's on the other side of I Drive. Yeah. That doesn't even include that. If you were to go that one, walk across the bridge and then hook up and try to walk to the end of it, I remember I forgot something during one of my daughter's volleyball tournaments.
No.
And I had to go back out to the parking lot.
No.
And I looked at my wife and I said, I'll see you Sunday.
Yeah. What a terrible way to spend a birthday.
Yeah.
All three of them walking out to your car.
Yeah.
I had another kid while I was out there.
That's where they should hold the voting in favor of making it bigger, and they should drop off everyone who's voting at the other end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
If you make it that other end, we'll give you the $500 million or whatever you're looking for.
Speaking of tourists and theme parks and stuff, newly founded documents are detailing the moments a trainer at SeaWorld Orlando was seriously injured by a killer whale. An OSHA report states the incident happened last year when the trainer was trying to rinse the mouth of a 5,500-pound orca named Malia. Officials believe the water tickled Malia and caused her to briefly close her mouth on the victim's right arm. Again, 5,500 pounds of pressure. I can only imagine. The unidentified trainer has since recovered. But
what could possibly go wrong when you have your hand in the mouth of the apex predator of the ocean?
Suffered multiple fractures.
Yeah, probably
SeaWorld was fined over safety violations. All right. There's concern about the water quality at a lake in Volusia County. So the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County says blue-green algae was detected in water samples collected last week at Lake Monroe. So officials say you shouldn't drink, swim, wade, or use personal watercraft where there's a visible bloom. Not only that, keep your pets away from the area and make sure that any fish you eat from Lake Monroe is filleted, rinsed, and cooked well. So they're saying stay away from shellfish, and if you see any fish kills, contact the FWC. All right, United Launch Alliance.
That's a little closer to home than I like those stories to be.
Yeah, I know. And
Thank God
that's
it's
why
late
I
in the
did
summer,
it.
though.
Yeah.
See, and that's why I did it. We've got the 4th of July coming up. Any beautiful weather, people are going to be out on the lakes, and you and your pets could get really seriously ill.
Not to mention, doesn't the water temperature cause that to bloom
Yeah,
even
it
more?
does.
I mean, so you're talking about the water even getting warmer. It's just June.
I know. Well, look, we've been talking about 3 systems spinning off the west coast of Africa that you don't normally see for another 2 months.
They're literally behind each other.
It was a train that we normally see late August, early September. All right, United Launch Alliance is going to try again tomorrow to launch the world's largest rocket. Technical issues prevented the agency's Delta IV Heavy rocket from taking off at the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station earlier this morning. Not the weather, like I had assumed. The launch is part of a satellite mission for the National Reconnaissance Office and the U.S. Space Force.
Yeah, very good.
Ooh. Next attempt is set for 3:25 tomorrow morning.
We got a submarine at the bottom of the ocean that can't send a text message, but yet Elon Musk, the guy who runs,
be laughing about that. That's terrible.
the guy who runs Twitter, can send up rockets every other day.
All right, here's your final destination story.
I'm listening.
A Polk County man has died after he was hit by an SUV.
What are you laughing about?
While inside his own home.
That's not cool.
It happened yesterday afternoon in Lakeland on North Crystal Lake Drive. Police say 27-year-old Dalton Collins of Lakeland ran a stop sign, hit 2 signposts, and then the house. A 24-year-old man in the scene. He hasn't been identified, but police say he was from Brazil. No one else in the home or the SUV was hurt. Why does that always happen? The perpetrator gets to walk away from the S they cause, but some poor innocent guy sitting on his couch watching Jeopardy.
Young kids, too. 24.
27.
27.
Well,
this happens so often with cars going into people's homes.
In this instance, the person who made the mistake got away with it, and the person who got hit didn't, because one of them was in a car.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually a
and the
big
other one was
deciding
just
factor.
Sitting peaceful in his house.
But the other one was inside a house.
Yeah, it just came through the house and killed the guy.
Good one, Deb. I like that. He was in his house, bro.
He was in his house, bro.
It's just physics.
You have an expectation of safety.
Yeah,
in your
you
house.
do. You just, there's a certain amount of...
I'm on my couch.
You know?
Yeah, I should be free from sinkholes.
Yeah.
And douchebags and cars.
Exactly. There was one
random
case...
gunfire. All that should be omitted from
and you
me
see
just
this
chilling.
a lot of these houses on these corners. There was one recent story of a guy whose house got hit. It's happened or has been so close to happening. He parked his truck in front of the bedroom wall, and he thinks that's what saved his wife and himself, because the car ended up hitting his house, and that's what saved it from going all the way through.
There are a number of hairpin turns in the city. There's actually one right over here in Maitland that they had to wind up putting steel poles in because it's a dead left 90 degree, but there's no stop sign. And what you're doing is you're hauling ass on that road. You don't even really have to be hauling ass. Go 25, 35 miles an hour, and that thing sneaks up on you. You're not paying attention. You're right into this person's yard. It happens so often that they built a barrier there.
See? All right, basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal is heading to Texas this fall to showcase his musical talents. The Hall of Famer has announced he's hosting Shaq's Bass All-Star Festival at Panther Island Pavilion in Fort Worth. The EDM show will feature Shaq as his alter ego, DJ Diesel.
Okay.
Along with several other electronic music stars, including Alice in Wonderland and Sullivan King.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq's Bass All-Star Festival is scheduled for September 16th.
Got to make that money before they take it.
And finally...
that lawsuit's going to be fun to watch.
And finally, so if you're going to be up all night, tonight's the night for the 118th edition of the Midnight Sun baseball game in Fairbanks, Alaska. The traditional summer solstice game at Groudon Memorial Park between the Alaska Gold Panners and Michigan Monarchs is scheduled for 10 p.m. Alaska time, which is 2 a.m. Eastern time. The Midnight Sun game is unique for being a night game that's played without lights, and it's ranked among the top 10 must-see games by the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Really? I've never even heard of it. Have you heard of this, Jack?
Nope.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I haven't either, but I'm definitely this and the Savannah Bananas are on my baseball.
Good luck with the ticket to see the
I
Bananas.
know,
though.
there's no chance in
Holy-
hell.
My daughter dated one of those guys for a
Did
while.
she really?
Yeah, he went to. It was the guy named Dan. He's a DH for them, Dan Erbst or something like that, and he played ball at in Fort Pierce. Oh my God.
Jam.
Anyway, she played volleyball at the same time he played baseball there, and they dated for a short period of time.
Oh,
it's Dan Oberst is his name, Oberst.
If you haven't seen it, YouTube the Savannah Bananas.
It's the
That'd be
greatest.
one of the most fun you'll ever have at a baseball game. We talked to their bus driver outside of when we went to Savannah this last time. He said, "Yeah, good luck. You'll never get tickets."
Yeah.
But for the game in Alaska, the first game that was played back in 1906 reportedly came about as a bet between two Fairbanks bar teams.
That's cool.
So there you have it. And now you all are officially woke, and Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. You know, everybody knows you're supposed to get more than one quote on your mortgage, but only about 25% of us actually do. And the reason why, it takes a lot of time. We're busy. You don't know where to go. But that mortgage guy, Don, really makes it so easy for you. You really have no excuse not to take him up on it. Just go to thatmortgageguydon.com. Hit the compare quote button, put in your contact info, tell him your credit score, and upload your quote. He will do the rest. Don will interpret your quote and let you know if you can do better. Plain and simple. No spam, no hassle. Just peace of mind at thatmortgageguydon.com.
Thanks, Deb. 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Back in 1 second with more of The Jim Colbert Show.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends. Real Music Weekends. This weekend on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey everyone, Jamie King here, Fox 35 Storm Center. Just want to freshen up the Wednesday forecast as we approach midday here in Central Florida. Looks like we're mostly cloudy, hot, and humid today. Upper 80s to near 90. Bit of a lull in the rain chances before 1 or 2 o'clock. After that point, they're back. Heavy-duty showers and storms, lots of lightning and heavy rain out there. Rain chance at 70%. Plus, partly cloudy, rain chance tonight at 50%. Winds from the south at 5 to 10. For Fox 35, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jamie King. Take care.
This report is sponsored by ePass.
The Portable Uni by ePass. Now available in black. A toll pass that blends into your windshield. Finally. And Uni works on toll roads in 19 states. The Portable Uni by ePass. Get yours today on Amazon or go with uni.com.
I'll tell you one thing. The people on this radio show love the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, proven by the fact that we've broadcast over there a number of times. This place is a top 10 TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice winner year after year. And the reason why? It's the only place you can experience the excitement of thundering rocket launches up close and see the spacecraft that are blazing the trail for tomorrow's discoveries. When I say see them, stand right next to them, go inside them, see exactly what they're all about. It's the actual spacecraft. This place is simply amazing, and the cool thing is, not only do you learn, it's interactive as well. Something for everybody in the family as well. And right now, you can take advantage of this entirely new 2-day ticket offer costing less than $45 a day, but offering maximum flexibility for the entire family. It's the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Get your tickets and learn more today at KennedySpaceCenter.com.
Here's what Fence Outlet customers have to say about their experience.
Our Fence Outlet salesperson was a wealth of information. Things that weren't addressed by other companies were addressed by Fence Outlet. We're so pleased with our new Fence Outlet fence.
Go to fenceoutlet.com today. License number C10252 and C10803.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
My fellow Americans, R.C. Hill here from R.C. Hill Mitsubishi. I think it's high time we celebrate. To help you relieve stress and start having fun again. It's time to let freedom ride and break free from your old ride. and declare your independence in a nicer, newer car for just $7 down. Have you been feeling put down, fed up, or just plain tired? Then it's time to let freedom ride. So keep your cash and drive a new 23 Outlander for just $7 down. All RC Hill Mitsubishis include a lifetime limited warranty. Even if you've heard no in the past, America is a land of opportunity, and I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car today. So kick your old ride to the curb and let freedom ride for just $7 down. But hurry, this celebration ends soon. I'm RC Hill, your car dealer next door. Get free at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
$7 down on cars next approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Example, stock number N12354. $7 down, $3.89 per month for 84 months, 3.9 APR.
I'm back! And look at all the fresh from Florida produce I brought home. You have heard of Fresh from Florida, right?
Fresh I have.
That's refreshing to hear.
Fresh from Florida produce is fresh as fresh can get.
And if we're going to freshen up daily meals, it's refreshing to know that locally grown Fresh from Florida produce is available year-round.
Well, that's a breath of fresh air. Got anything else?
I'm fresh out.
Look for Fresh from Florida where you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
These days, there are plenty of things to worry about, but keeping pests out of your home shouldn't be one of them. That's why you need Massey Services. Massey eliminates pests before they get inside. They start by carefully inspecting the inside and outside of your home and then focus customized treatments on the outside. Best of all, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season and available in the produce section right now. Whoa, hey, careful now. There's plenty of juicy watermelon and other tasty Florida-grown produce for everyone. I mean, all you have to do is ask for Fresh from Florida or look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're gonna need a lot more help at checkout.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch at The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
A few years ago, when I was in the golf industry, I went to the PGA show at the convention center. But like an idiot, I didn't note where I parked. And when I went to find my car, I ended up on the north side when the car, I think, was on the south side. Anyhow, I was walking that convention center for an hour. I just felt like curling up in the fetal position and crying. It was so frustrating.
Look, man, I'm telling you,
really should make it bigger.
When they bring those volleyball teams in, it's like 125 teams from all over the world, and it is a trek. And there are people everywhere, and it still doesn't even come close to filling that thing up.
I know.
Not even close. All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. What you just heard was a talkback. We are still doing tacos for talkbacks. Go to the iHeartRadio app, which you can download for free. You should already have it. It's awesome. Go to Real Radio once you get it, and then send us a little talkback, and you can be in the registration for a $40 gift card from Tijuana Flats. We'll draw 6 of those on Friday. What was it? Oh, yes. I wanted to ask you this. Is Pixar Disney?
Yeah. Yes.
Pixar is Disney. So, interestingly, there's a movie that's out right now, and I saw very little promotion for this movie, and it's really underperforming. What? And apparently, it's like one of the worst weekends for a Disney opening film in a really, really long time. Have you heard anything about it? Or
I have heard some of it, and I've seen some commercials. Not a lot of commercials, not the usual tie-in with like a fast food, restaurant.
Like the big rollout they usually see for like Toy Story or one of their big Incredibles or whatever.
Bugs Life.
Right, yeah.
Monsters. We could keep going.
I mean, you're talking about those films are like part of their golden era. This was a brand new franchise for Pixar as well.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, this wasn't a sequel. This was a whole new batch of new characters.
This is based on the elements, right?
Right, yeah,
Air,
fire and water and air, right, yeah. And fire and water who
earth.
Don't get along with each other have to kind of come together to solve some big problem or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
It did under 30 million, 29 million, and it was second only to The Flash, which was about 55 million.
Yeah.
Which is a lot lower than they were expecting.
And when you add that into the Buzz Lightyear, kind of like the backstory to Buzz Lightyear that had come out, I think it was last year, that was also a failure. And that's part of, what led to Pixar when they made those staffing cuts. One of them was the woman who had saved Toy Story.
Right, exactly.
Because she had a backup copy while she was at home working on maternity leave when someone hit delete and...
All right, she got lucky she was pregnant at the right time. I mean, how long does she get to promote that?
She'll always be credited as that.
But she was also the one that gave the okay to this movie that didn't do that well, right?
To this particular movie?
No, not that one but another one.
For Lightyear.
For Lightyear, she did, yeah.
But this one is not doing well. I didn't see it. And when I saw the movie or heard the first ad for it, I'm like, wow, that's odd. Usually you're inundated with advertising and, like you were saying, co-ops between the movie or some fast food restaurant or some other entity that they're co-oping with to create more buzz about it, but nothing. And then when I heard this, do you think The Flash is doing poorly because of all the drama that came with that actor?
No. I feel very confident that The Flash is doing poorly because of brand damage from DC and movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be. I heard it was okay. And
I heard it was good, but it's just... I don't.
What do you
even
mean
think,
by brand damage? I don't even really know what you mean by that.
When you look at what Marvel was able to do, string 20+ movies together within one universe compared to what DC did, which was Marvel's doing it. Let's do our version, abridged. We don't have that much time. We have to catch up. It took 8 movies to get to that first Avengers film.
Right.
And with DC, it took I think 1 to get to Justice League.
Right, yeah.
So, some nerd talk, but I just don't think people really trust DC in movie theaters.
Don't they have the worst superheroes? Is Batman a DC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Superman, Wonder
Superman's
Woman.
terrible. Wonder Woman...
You're walking into a very subjective thing. Wonder Woman was a solid DC film, the first one.
The first one.
The second one was what in the hell?
El Stinko.
And even the first one was okay. It was an okay movie. It was an okay movie.
Oh, we forgot you hate women.
No, it's not that I hate women. I just don't like...
You hate the Wonder type.
I don't like women that can make me tell the truth. That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to get that. Did I say that wrong? Anyway. But I just don't like those characters. The Superman is the worst superhero in the history of superheroes.
Why? Because he can do everything?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, who's the bad guy? We've said this a million times. Yeah. The bad guy is the movie.
Is it because he's a foreigner?
Yeah, oh, no. The bad guy is the movies. If you don't have a good bad guy, you don't have a good movie.
Yeah, Superman is also my least favorite. I'm not going to go and agree with you and say he's the worst. It's just
Who's the worst then?
It's just not my cup of tea.
Let me tell you why he's the worst. He's the worst because you expect the most because he's so iconic. That's That's what makes him the worst. You can't drop some Ant-Man thing on me because Ant-Man is some ancillary character that is just really, nobody really knew until they made the movies. Not outside of comic book geeks. Everybody knows who Superman is, and it sucks.
Yeah, but we thought the same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like, who?
Yeah,
who are these people? And that kind of took off.
Yeah, but they made a really good movie out of
did?
that. Because also, what was the other one with the blue guy with his dong out?
Yeah,
What is that?
That's DC, but that's not.
But I know, but that's
in
the
that-
same thing. Those are
Yeah.
superhero movies that nobody really knew about, and that movie did okay. That's actually one of my favorite of all of them.
It was also rated R.
Yeah, it was great though because it was like real. It was awesome. That's the Silver Surfer guy.
No. If you're talking about Blue Wing, you're talking about Watchmen.
Yeah, Watchmen. There you go.
Yeah.
Watchmen was great, different, unique.
Jim's down for the Blue Wing.
All right,
Got it.
407-916-1041. Text us at 77031.
I am going to be seeing a lot of movies coming up soon.
Why is that?
Oh, because something came in the mail.
Oh my
You
God!
got it.
Was it the movie? Is it Movie Pass?
It is.
Wow, look at you.
Movie Pass, baby.
Is that a credit card?
Yeah.
Look
That's
at
how
you.
it works.
So what happens there? What is the deal there?
So in the past, the first go round, people had different experiences with it. Mine was great. Sabrina is awful. Sabrina lost a lot of money. She paid for hers for the year. I was doing mine month by month. I saw more movies than the $10 a month I was paying.
You also saw that it was an unsustainable business plan.
I knew it. Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not missing a weekend because I know this is not going to last.
It's not a good business plan.
So now the business plan is, and they were kind of slow rolling this out. I kept waiting for details before I committed to it. They have different tiers. $10 a month, you get a certain amount of credits. Now, then you bring up the app, and then the movies are, you buy your tickets for the movie based on how many credits it is. Like Tuesday is the cheapest movie.
Right, yeah.
Okay, it might have been 7. I have 64 credits. It's 7 credits to see a movie on Tuesday. Then matinees. And then the most expensive is
like Friday, Saturday night at 7 to 10.
Opening weekend
There you go.
blockbuster, right?
Right.
Yeah. The other drawback, so if you are careful in how you use it, you can see multiple movies or maybe just one or two. But I'm paying $10
Yeah,
a
$10
month.
a month.
So
You
if I
can't
see
lose.
one movie, I'm covered, right?
That's right. Yeah, 100%.
The knock right now is I have to go there and I sign up for the movie. I use that card to pay for it, but I can't get advance tickets with it.
Oh, that
So
sucks.
it's movie, and it makes sense because they're doing movies that aren't sold out.
Right.
You know?
Right.
They're trying to bring more business to the movie theater. They're trying to see where all the potholes were in their previous business plan.
Right.
And shore that up. If it's still a good deal, I'm going to try it.
Yeah,
I've invested $10 so far.
The reboot's been around for about, 6-8 months or whatever, maybe a little bit longer than that?
I think a little bit. I started, it was only a couple months ago. I got the first email a couple months ago, and I kind of waited because it was so vague. It's like, click here to sign up. You don't want to miss out. I'm like, what are the details?
We abduct your child.
I don't even think they figured them out yet.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Get to see Top Gun.
Right,
And
exactly.
then I got more details. I'm like, all right, I think I can make this work. Again, I just need to see one movie a month.
Right.
Then I'm in.
Very good. Well, I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the theater in a long time. Top Gun was the last movie I saw in the theater.
Oh,
You
yeah.
kind of have to, though, because of the
They
sound.
call you the Eagle.
All right, 407-916. Do they? All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with Daryl Payne from Paw Fetch and Dog Training.
3 general managers, 5 midday shows, and 1 corporate bankruptcy. Restructuring. Celebrating 30 years of Real Radio 104.1. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Looking at some slow traffic this afternoon on I-4 due to a crash that blocks the right lane westbound on the interstate at Princeton Street. Another crash blocking the roadway on 192 at Orange Lake Boulevard near the 429. Another crash in Kissimmee causing some minor delays on Osceola Parkway between Buenaventura Boulevard and Simpson Road. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Take 5 Oil Change. At Take 5, they're faster than you think. That means they'll change your oil faster than it takes you to find a good spot at your local swimming pool. Dive into one of their convenient locations and see for yourself. Take 5, the stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change.
Guys, there's no question Power Spot Fireworks is your local source for the best specials. Florida's largest selection of buy one, get two free fireworks. Let the experts make you an entire backyard hero. Help design your perfect show using their touch screens to view products. And with locations along with Eustis, firework demand is at an all-time high. So shop early for the best selection and opening week specials. Better fireworks, better prices, and a no-dud guarantee. And check this out. We have a special called the Screamin' Eagle Special. They put it on. Check this out. For $199.95, you get any two 500-gram cakes up to $139, any three 200-gram cakes up to $39.95, and a 4-pack assorted large 8-ball Roman candles. And for $100 more, added an Excalibur premium mortar kit as well. A great deal. IWantFireworks.com.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Midsummer Days. We're celebrating with fun in-store events for IKEA family members and lots of savings.
Oh, hi. I'm looking for extra chairs to host my pickleball team dinner.
We can help you save on that and more.
Great. And that flower crown looks amazing.
Come make your own in-store on June 23rd through 25th. Plus, buy tickets to the June 23rd Swedish Midsummer Buffet at your local store. Go to IKEA-USA.com/midsummer for more details. Offer valid 5/30 to 7/4. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store on IKEA-USA.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
He strikes, he scores! Top right corner, Facundo Torres!
Orlando City returns home taking on the Philadelphia Union on Wednesday, June 21st at 7:30 p.m., presented by Heineken Silver. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app. It takes a beer served in 192 countries to truly appreciate the global game. Cheers your Heineken to your Orlando City Lions. Heineken, the official beer of Orlando City Soccer Club. Must be 21 and up to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
The money's good and the bids are high. Speedy, fast, the check is on Bank of America, and it's real. Give me the VIN.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. Give me the VIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hear that? That's the sound of water coming from leaking pipes. Hi, this is Pete from Repipe Specialists. Let's end those leaks and the damages they can cause to your walls, ceilings, and floors by replacing those old, corroded, or brittle pipes with high-quality new ones. With over 30 years of experience and work that's guaranteed for life, Repipe Specialists will expertly and seamlessly repipe your entire home in just 1 to 2 days. Call us by this Saturday to save 20%. So long, water-dripping drum solos. If you have leaks or even low water pressure, call Repipe Specialists now at 407-337-4020 to schedule a free home estimate and to save 20% on your entire job, plus zero down, zero interest financing for the first 18 months on approved credit, local and insured. Call 407-337-4020 or go to repipe.com. That's 407-337-4020. Repipe.com. Repipe Specialists, making your repipe job fast, seamless, and simple. That's our specialty.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day to do great things. Yes! Like finally getting your closet organized. Or fixing your water heater so you can enjoy warm, steamy showers. Oh, yeah! Do something great today by calling Plumbing Today to take care of all your plumbing needs. Right now, get our 93-hour free drain clearing and get the best from today.
Call today, Plumbing Today, plumbingtoday.biz.
Visit plumbingtoday.biz to book an appointment.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Dads, this Father's Day, Cordell & Cordell celebrates you the entire month of June. Join us every Friday for our live webinar series, Father's Fridays. There you'll receive much useful information from our panel of speakers. To register, go to CordellCordell.com/Father's Day.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
As road pros, we know how to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, from making alternate routes to finding the best cup of coffee on the road.
And how to help get better mileage.
Yep. Yeah, all diesel fuels are not the same.
Yep. Synergy diesel-efficient fuel from Exxon and Mobil stations helps you get further down the road. Helps keep your engine cleaner, you know.
Keep this baby running. That's the goal. Get the job done and get home.
Yep. Pros.
Yeah.
Yep.
Learn more and find a station at Exxon.com. Compared to diesel without detergent additives. Results may vary.
Fence Outlet has the largest assortment of vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and steel fences in Florida. That means we have the styles you want at the guaranteed lowest price. Right now, put no money down and get 0% financing on any fence. Go to fenceoutlet.com today. License number C-10252 and C-10803.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Best price the first time. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade. Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.
By the way, if you didn't get all of that during the Pyro Spot, commercial, just go in and look at Craig and say, I want the Screaming Eagle, and then he'll kind of take you all the way through the entire thing, and for a couple $100, I mean, you get quite a bit. You add on a little bit more. And what my family and I do with friends is we used to do this. We'd all pitch money into a pool. Like, hey, everybody put in a couple $100, and we'll just go there and buy a bunch and make a bunch of deals. And Craig doesn't mind doing that at all. So, again, ask for the Screaming Eagle package at Pyro Spot Fireworks, Longwood, and Eustis, and they will take good care of you. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here. Jack is here. Ross is here. And speaking of Deb, let's do Animal House.
She likes them fuzzy, furry, feathery, tough, and scaly. It's time for Animal House with Deborah Roberts.
All right, Animal House is generously brought to you each and every week by personal injury attorney Glenn Klausman of Klausman Law. We'll tell you how you can get in touch with Glenn at the end of Animal House, but now you know him, you love him. Put your hands together and welcome back Daryl Payne of Pawfection Dog Training.
Yeah.
What's up, big dog?
Thank you.
What's up, mate?
Oh, thank you.
Look at me using the language. Look at me using the language.
Yeah, it's not cringe at all, too.
Yeah, no, it's so sus. Anyway, oh boy. So what's going on, buddy?
Well, do you know, I had a strange thing came up 2 days ago, and it was one of these things that the portal throws up with pictures and stuff. I didn't realize it's 2 days ago, 3 years ago, I had my quadruple heart bypass.
Did you really? Wow.
Yeah, almost 3 years to the day. And I remember talking about it on the show and someone calling in and saying, hey, I listened to the segment and I went to my doctor and guess what? I had the same thing because it was just a nothing thing. Remember, I was cycling, as Jack knows, 300 miles a month. No problem at all. Went to the primary and just mentioned that I got out of breath going up 19 stairs at home. And she said, I don't like the sound of that. And 2 weeks later, I was in surgery with a quadruple heart bypass.
Wow. So was it on that little statement that you made to your primary care doctor that she sent you to get like a... Yeah. What would they use? I have a client now called Life Imaging FLA, and it's a full CT scan that kind of shows you all the all the problems you may have.
Yeah,
so,
this is old style. Though.
Yeah.
This was a... well, she said it doesn't sound right. You shouldn't be out of breath going up that many stairs.
Right. Especially if you ride that many miles on a bike.
I was very out of breath. So she sent me to the cardiologist who put me on the stress test, the treadmill thing. And even that, he said, you know what, it's showing that it's okay. He said, there's just something about it I don't like.
Yeah, see, and that's, to back that up, my mom had done a stress test.
Yeah.
And they would have necessarily abnormal results, but they were consistent. In fact, the day she was supposed to go visit her cardiologist, she had to call and cancel the appointment because she was having open heart surgery as well, emergency open heart surgery.
Well, he said, well, we're going to do an angiogram. He said, and you may have to have a stent. I'll prepare you for that. And I thought, I don't want a stent. So they went in through the neck, as they do, and he got the surgeon to come in because he couldn't believe what he was seeing. I had a widowmaker. And he said
that's an aneurysm in your aorta.
Yep, he said, and I was 90% occluded in my arteries.
Whoa,
so
that's a blockage.
These days with that scanning, I wouldn't need the angiogram. They'd have sent me straight to that, and they'd have seen it and gone, right, this is what you need. But I mean, they gave me, this was June. They gave me until September. He said, you will be dead in September. He said, and you'll be dead before you hit the ground.
Wow. Yeah, the widowmaker. That's what my mom had one of those, although that didn't kill her. but because it was inoperable at the time. But that's, you get a blockage there, your aorta builds up. That's the main director of blood to one of the mains to your heart, and that's why it's done. You're done.
Yeah, and it just shows how important it is to get checked out. It's so easy to skip an annual physical. Or,
Absolutely, it is. Look, when these guys from Life Imaging came to me and said, "Hey, this is what we do," I was like, "Well, I'll go look at it," because I'm real sketchy about medical stuff already, and I'm already a difficult endorsement because I just require too much from my clients, and a lot of them just go, "I don't need it. That's fine." I need it to be good.
Yeah,
I need it to be the best. And I did this scan, and they were kind of going through the whole thing, and they're like, "Yep, you don't have this, you don't have this, you do have this, you do have this." And I was like, "Who in the hell wouldn't do this? Like, who wouldn't want to know?" And I mean, they can see. Like, I was watching them do my wife, and you're like, "That's that," and you can see all that stuff clear as day in your heart.
Yeah. So this is the middle of COVID as well.
Here's how effective your commercials are. My wife asks, "Are you going to get that?"
Oh, yeah.
Are you doing that?
You bet your
You're
ass,
getting
man.
that, right? I'm
You
like,
bet. And the heart scan, the heart part that he's talking about, that's the free thing. Of course, they charge for the full body scan. They'll tell you all about that when you go there, but it is it is a tool that you can't ignore. So you went in, you preemptive strike though. Nothing happened to you other than that, and then you went in and got that. And quadruple is every single entry into your heart had to be bypassed.
Yeah, I had no TIAs, no stroke, no nothing.
Wow.
But it was on the brink. They said it was probably the cycling that stopped that actually me having a stroke. That because I had a reasonable level of fitness, but equally, it could have happened any time.
Is it genetic?
To an extent, but I think the stress was what probably brought it on for me more than anything.
Just hypertension, just the stress of being in business, the stress of...
It was the business. It wasn't just that. We were trying to get our green card at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it took us 10 years to get the evidence together, and we submitted 1,500 pages of evidence, and we got within 2 weeks of my son being 21.
Mm-hmm.
And on the visa we were on, even though he'd been here for over 10 years, he would have got kicked out of the country at 21, halfway through his degree.
Wow. Why didn't you guys just wade across the Rio Grande?
Because I don't like water. See, you talked about the submarine earlier. There's just no way. If I got onto the dock and they said, "Hey, we're going to bolt you into this thing."
Yeah, not a chance, buddy.
No, we're not having doing that.
You're right there with me. Everything good at the business?
Yeah,
very good.
We're on sort of downtime now. A couple of days left, and then we're off to Italy and cruising around Italy. And
very nice.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Colosseum. There's a new entrance where you can go in, where the gladiators went in, see what the view they got in, pretty much. And
that's amazing. We have some friends over there right now. Actually, they come back next week, and they've been sending pictures. I'm highly jealous.
Just hope they don't offer the gladiator bath, because it used to be, aristotic women would pay a lot of money to basically bathe themselves in the olive oil that the gladiators would use to clean themselves after a match.
Really?
So they would cover themselves in olive oil and then scrape it off, and then rich women would come in thinking that it would help them have virile sons.
Yeah, well, I understand that the gladiators were quite popular with the...
They were. That's actually where prostitution, that's where the word comes from the porticos, because it was allowed during the gladiator matches.
And everyone knows that. The whole olive oil thing.
We're going to see the Vatican as well. Which,
nice.
A dyslexic person told me that Pope is a man of dogs, so we've got a lot to talk about.
Okay, so do you? Oh, that's so good, bad.
Do you have a Venmo account for tips?
Yeah. Do you know about the scams going on right now? There's one prevalent scam happening right now in that area. Do you know what it is?
No, go on.
It's true, though. I'm not joking. This is not a joke. So if anybody walks up to you and offers you a friendship bracelet for free, do not take it.
Right.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is this. So they'll walk up, if you're unsuspecting tourist, I'm not saying you look like one, but you kind of...
A little bit.
You could be taken for that. And they hand you like a friendship bracelet. Like, they try to put it on you. Just deny it, because what they're going to do is they'll put it on you, and then they'll start asking you for money. Like you'll assume it's free, right? They won't say anything about it. And then when they put it on you, if you don't offer to pay, they make this gigantic scene, and you want to just give them anything to shut them up. Yeah. So that's the big, I say big scam, but that's one of the scams I just read about like 3 days ago.
Yeah, so they do the similar thing in Egypt when we were there. It's like, oh, look, this is a good photo opportunity. And then you take the photo, and then they ask for money.
Right.
The thing is that I'm 280 pounds and bald and look like a thug. Not many people actually approach me.
You look like an old Irish cop walking around beating people at the time.
I put on my specially scowly face, and they tend to leave me alone.
I bet they do. You've got that cop look in your eyes.
Actually, in Egypt, we're walking along, and Penny obviously is small and blonde, and all I got was, "Hey, Rambo, how much you want for the girl?"
Oh man!
Wow.
Oh, blondes? Are you kidding?
Well, in the end, I took 2 camels.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Got to get your money's worth. All right, 407-916-1041. Daryl is here to answer some questions. What we'll do is we'll take a little break. We'll come back. People are already loading them up on the texting service at 77031. If you have one, ask him live. Gladly we'll do that. That number is 407-916-1041. Back with your questions from Daryl Payne from Paw Affection Dog Training right after this.
We may have lost our blue check, but we're still here, doing
whatever it is you do on Twitter.
At Real Radio 1041 on Twitter is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Looking at some slow traffic this afternoon on I-4 due to a crash that blocks the right lane westbound on the interstate at Princeton Street. Another crash blocking the roadway on 192 at Orange Lake Boulevard near the 429. Another crash in Kissimmee causing some minor delays on Osceola Parkway between Buenaventura Boulevard and Simpson Road. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Phantom Fireworks.
Just a reminder for this and every 4th of July that the rocket's red glare and the bombs bursting in air are brought to backyards across America by Phantom Fireworks. Visit fireworks.com for specials, coupons, and a location near you.
So hot in the summer here in Central Florida, your AC better be in good shape. If not, this heat will kill it. Make sure you're ready to go. Mills Air can help you do that with that preventive maintenance plan and with great deals from Carrier because they're Carrier factory authorized dealers. That's a big deal too because they can get you some crazy good discounts. But what you are going to get is insane service. Insane service. It really is remarkable. The gentleman who owns this company, Leon Mills, is one of the best dudes ever. If that guy just showed up to do a job of any job, you would automatically say that's the guy you want on the job. He's just got that integrity you love. Took care of Deb's mom while on vacation in the middle of the ocean fishing, made the phone calls necessary to get her cool again, and that can happen for you as well. They've been doing it since 1992, 30 plus years of experience in keeping Central Floridians cool, and they're ready to help you. Plus, like I said, Carrier factory authorized dealers, that could get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and certainly 100% turn to the experts at Mills Air. They're family owned and operated, and they are ready to help you right now. It's 407-277-1159. Online, millsair.com.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Marco's Pizza.
Get your tickets now
at AXS.com
for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Coming back to Las Vegas.
2 nights.
September 22nd and 23rd.
1 stage.
At T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live. Only on Hulu.
This is the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Buy your tickets for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival now.
Before they sell out.
At AXS.com.
That's AXS.com.
Not a lot of things last an entire lifetime, but at Sutherland Nissan Orlando, your lifetime vehicle warranty does. Get our exclusive nationwide lifetime warranty with unlimited miles and unlimited time at no additional cost. Only at Sutherland Nissan Orlando, OrlandoNissan.com.
People are winning every single day. Regular people are winning every day. Whether it's $500 or $50,000, anybody can win. Because when they win, I feel like I'm winning.
It's just a fun atmosphere. The pool, the spa, the gaming, the food, the shopping. I came one night, hit the double downs, had a couple of good runs, and won about $300,000.
Anybody could win at Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa.
Must be 21 to play slots or table games. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
If it's a day that ends in Y, you're probably stuck in Florida traffic. So turn that AC up one more notch, aim the vents toward your face, and think of a better place, like the cool, colorful produce section in your favorite grocery store. Why? Because that's where all the cool, colorful, fresh from Florida produce is. Produce just tastes better when it's grown closer to home. And when you buy fresh from Florida, you're supporting local farmers and jobs in our communities. So after you're done being stopped in traffic, pick up some fresh from Florida on your way home.
Don't let earache from swimmer's ear, clogged ears, or allergies ruin your day. Get fast, effective relief from the pain and itching with Hyland's Earache Drops, the #1 best-selling earache treatment for over 10 years. See why it's received thousands of 5-star reviews and was awarded Best Over-the-Counter Medicine and Health Product in Earache Relief by U.S. News and World Report. Find Hyland's Earache Drops in the eye and ear aisle at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, Orlando.
When it comes to $1 small Slurpee drinks at 7-Eleven, no one's doing it like you. You're inventing new flavor combos, throwing caution to the wind. You're a frozen fizz whiz, a pina colada prodigy. You mix cherry and blue raspberry like a pro. Only you know the perfect ratio. Just when they think you're done, you add a splash of summertime citrus, just because you can. And because your small Slurpee drink masterpiece is just $1 at 7-Eleven. Slurpee, anything flows. Expires 12/31/2023 plus tax. Visit store for details.
Injured? Hire the largest injury firm in the world. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 1.
All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show here on Real Radio. I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. And, of course, our buddy Daryl Payne from Paw Fetching Dog Training dropping by for his monthly visit to help you out with your dog's behavior. We had somebody earlier. By the way, you can call us, 407-916-1041. We have a few lines open. Grab one of those now. A guy texted a question in as soon as you got here. Dog not allowed to sleep in our bedroom. When thunder claps, she stands at the door whining until I cave and let her in. Can we teach her to be okay with thunder and fireworks, like maybe showing her a movie that has a bunch of sound like that so it kind of desensitizes them to that? And let me interestingly, I've got my little 9-pound Shorkie, right? The worst thing she ever experienced was Best Groomers Ever up in Oviedo.
Well, what happens to them when they're puppies? Because the first year of their life is the most important time, and that's where most of the socialization is done, the environmental socialization, and the experience is both good and bad. So if they have a bad experience in the early part of their life, or as one dog I had that's been abandoned on a military firing range, then they tend to have a really bad reaction to loud sounds. So if you have a puppy, what's a good thing to do is to play the firework and the thunder sounds just low, download them into a speaker, and then slowly increase the sound. But this is going to be too late for the storms coming through this weekend.
Right, yeah.
And also a little late for 4th of July, although you might be able to do a little bit before then. But you just basically put it on low and slowly increase it. So for the future, that would be a good thing, the desensitization.
Yeah.
As far as you can't teach them not to be afraid of them, the best thing, if they are afraid of them, is to give them the ability to hunker down somewhere. So I know that the dog's not allowed in the bedroom, but it's looking for safety. So a small cupboard, something like that they can get into. They like to get into something which is cave-like, which they feel safe in.
Right.
And then, being with them but not oversensitive to it. You know,
Sure.
"It's okay."
Don't react to it.
Just-
Don't overreact when it, because they'll wind up seeking that.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, it looks like you're afraid as well, and,
Right,
and we
right.
don't want the dog to think that. Sometimes some soft classical music on will deaden the sound a little as well, and that does calm dogs down. Perhaps not 1812 Overture.
Right, exactly. Do you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
So no movies. Like movies aren't going to help. I can turn off Private Ryan every day now.
Well, yeah, actually, the TV is a different matter with dogs because they see things differently to us, and so when you put the TV on, they're stimulated by movement across the screen. They see the screen differently. It can overexcite them or cause the prey or chase drive to kick in. So sometimes TV doesn't do them any good, and sometimes the flickering of certain TVs can cause seizures as well. So
Wow.
Music is better, and if anyone knows anyone good talk radio stations, you could leave that on, couldn't you?
All right. 407-916-1041. Let's go to the phones here. Hey, Julie, how you doing? You're on with Daryl from Pawfection Dog Training. You got a question?
Hi, quick question. We have a rescue.
Oh, come on. One more time, Julie.
We have a Walker Coonhound that we rescued, and we have a man gate at the front of our house, and it's very difficult to go in and out of the gate because he always charges us. How can we stop him from running at the gate and trying to get out and go for a walkabout in the neighborhood?
Thanks for your call, Julie.
I know exactly what Jim's thinking. How much does he charge?
Right, exactly.
Right, so you have to give a consequence for running out of the gate. Something he doesn't like. You can even use a loud voice. So when you go to the gate, as you open it slightly, then just give a, back. So he gets back, and then when he gets back, you walk in, and then there's a good boy, and then you praise him. The other thing you could do, which is a lot of people will do if it's a safety issue like that, is to put like an airlock system. So just a little bit of gate on the other side. So you have to come through one gate, close it, and then open the next gate. So he can't bum rush you and get through and out into the street. If you want to stop any kind of door running, front door, back door, garage door, gates, that kind of thing, if you call us, not every dog's the same. So, a consequence for one may not be a consequence for another. So, that's one of the things we do deal with in home. So for things like that, basic manners and misbehavior, call us and we'll come down and fix it for you.
Yeah, I would think that would be the last thing you want is one of those dogs that just hits the door automatically, and once they haul ass, they're gone. That's another 3 hours of your day trying to get them back because they're so excited to be out. My dog, my little one, what she does is when we take the trash out to the curb, she likes to go out there because our mailbox is right there, and all the dogs in the neighborhood come by and whiz on the mailbox. So that's like Disneyland to her. And then where we put the trash, of course, whatever happens there with the trash and stuff, there are aromas there that she loves. But because it's a road, I just tell her in a very low voice. My dog reacts to a low voice more than a high voice. I'm like, stay. Just stay, and she will just stay, and I will hold my hand up so she sees that, and then I'll turn my back to her, and the minute she starts to walk, I'll turn around and do it again, so she understands.
Yeah, so there's the consequence.
Exactly.
It's the stern voice.
And it works, and then I just tell her to come, and she comes over there and does her whole thing, and we go back.
Well, the other thing you can do with like, if you want to take the dog down to the mailbox and that kind of thing, put it onto either a long line that you've measured out to the sidewalk so it can't go further than the sidewalk, or a retractable leash. Take it out with you. Give it the freedom to get to a certain point so it gets used to its area. So I can go as far as, the sidewalk, but I can't get across it. That way, if you give them the freedom, they tend not to want it. It's like a reverse psychology.
Right.
So they get used to, I can wander out with you, but I can't go beyond this certain point.
Right.
And that will work as well.
Right.
It's just getting them used to where they can and can't go. Their boundaries.
407-916-1041. Another Julie. Julie, got a question for Daryl?
Yes. Hi, Jim.
Hey.
I'm so psyched. I listen to you guys several times a day.
Right on.
So my question is, sometimes when I walk my dog, he doesn't go to the bathroom, and I know that I'm going to be gone for the next 2 or 3 hours, and And can a dog be trained to go to the bathroom like on command or something, or with treats, or?
That's a great question. That's a really good question. Matter of fact, thank you for your call, Julie. Darryl will give you the answer in a second. Ross had a situation like this and did like a whole bit about it. About how, would go out for this dog and dog be out there for 15 minutes and do like a smell tour of the entire yard.
It takes forever.
It takes forever to do it. My dog, I can tell her to go potty, and she kind of knows that by now, or she'll go out and do her thing. And then sometimes if she has to go and she hasn't gone, and I try to call her in the house, she'll know she's not done, and then she'll just run back out in the yard and take care of her business.
Yeah.
But I don't have it like on command like that, like go.
So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the first thing we teach when I was a police handler, the first thing we taught was for our dogs to go to the bathroom on command. So we would use the command empty. So the way you do that, and the reason we want that is because if I'm taking my dog into Buckingham Palace, which I did often, I didn't want him emptying in Buckingham Palace, as he did one day.
Did he really?
Oh yeah, he wasn't well, bless him, and it was outside the banquet room, but it was Vladimir Putin, I think, that was over, and they were.
Well, he'd tell him to just do it again and kick it in his face next time.
Yeah, he's probably still talking about the smell that's in Buckingham Palace.
Your dog went Buckingham and Buckingham.
So what you do when they're young, or you can teach it later on, take them outside, tell them to empty, they pee. Puppies, the morning's the best thing, especially with puppies, because they want to go.
Right.
So out there, empty, potty, whatever you want to say, and then as soon as they go, you praise them. Now, the problem that we're facing here is twofold. One, it could be because the dog is walking along right next to her. Dogs like to get away from you to go to the bathroom.
Right.
They like a little privacy sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
And so having a retractable leash when you're taking them out to empty them sometimes helps really well, because they can get away from you to empty, but they can't run off.
Right.
But they're more likely to go at that point. When they're walking along next to you, really, they don't want to go at that point. The other thing is, and we come across this a lot, is you put the dog out, or you take the dog out to the backyard, even if you've got a fence. You go out there with them and you're standing with them. You become the interesting thing there.
Exactly.
As per the smells and everything else. So they're going to go out, they're going to smell things. You're going to be there and it's going to be, right, let's play. Because, especially in the morning, they've been asleep all night, they've been on their own. Now you're there, you become the focus of attention, which means going to the bathroom is the last thing on their mind. So the best thing to do is to put them out the back and just leave them there. And they'll sniff around for 5 minutes. Then they'll get bored, and then it'll be, oh, I need to pee, I need to poop.
Right.
That's when I made my coffee.
Yeah, and then they come back in. Now, if you haven't got a backyard fence, what you can do is you can fence off a smaller area, or even with a puppy, have a small puppy pen that you put out there, so they go out onto that point there. But try and make it as boring as possible, the area that they want to go, because you don't want them interested. Otherwise, exactly that. You've got 5 minutes. You need to go to work. You call them back in, now they pee in the house.
I've heard plus and negative about this. We give our dog treats when she goes number 2, but we do not give her treats when she goes number 1. What we do is give her praise. Like, when she gets through, good girl, do the whole thing. Come here, and she runs in, lots of love. But when number 2, she gets treats. And the reason why we did that is because we just thought that it would motivate her more to take care of that. The peeing thing she had to do already. They seem to take more time to do the number 2 thing. Is that a bad habit to give them treats after the bathroom?
I think with puppies, a treat initially when they pee or poop, so they get the idea.
That you're doing this outside, right?
Then later on, as they're getting older and they understand the concept behind it, then you can take away the ones for the pee, because otherwise what they'll do is they'll fake pee.
Right.
They go out there, they squat, they pretend to pee.
I knew it.
And then they wait.
Yes,
wait for the treat.
They're savvy and they love those treats. My dog will be on the other side of the road, but she knows if she goes number 2, she's got a treat coming. And I mean, that's the fastest that dog runs in her entire life.
Yeah.
And she loves those treats.
And what you have to remember is to give them the treat immediately, then clear it up. Don't clear it up, then give them the treat, because the timing's out now.
Right.
And it's got to be, she poops, she gets the treat. There's no gap in between.
And that's the big problem when people find that the dog has gone to the bathroom in the house and they just find it. They think that disciplining the dog at that point is going to have an effect, and it does not. The dog has forgotten about that, doesn't even know what's happening when you're mad at it. Unless you see it doing it and do the discipline then, or use the loud voice, whatever the case may be, they're not going to associate one with the other.
They have very poor memory for guilty knowledge.
Right.
Which is very convenient.
I need you to call my wife because we had a disagreement about the whole fake pee thing. She thought I was crazy. She thought I went tinfoil on her, but I know what my dogs were doing.
Wait, she was trying to get that treat?
Yeah, they were fake peeing.
They'll fake pee and then take the treat.
All right, 407-916.
I was looking, Jim.
1041. Hey, Chris, how you doing? You're on with Daryl Payne from Pawfection Dog Training.
No dribble.
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, brother.
All right, so I think this requires a little bit of lead-in. So we have a 3-year-old golden retriever who had a run-in with another dog when it was only about 6 months old. The other dog kind of grabbed it by the neck and the cheek and shook him around a little bit. And so now we're trying to work on socialization a little bit more since he's a little skittish around other dogs and has kind of growled and bared teeth a little bit in the past. So just looking for kind of advice on how to work through
That's a great question.
Especially with that breed. It takes a lot to make a golden start to bare teeth.
Yeah, I'll take this one. It's hot sauce. Just keep feeding your dog hot sauce.
No, stop it.
And I guess the other bit is he is in a house with another dog, and they get along great. They don't fight, no issues there whatsoever.
And that's because they're part of the same pack, and it's quite often the case that dogs will be absolutely fine with dogs in their own pack, but dogs outside are a problem for
Chris.
whatever reason. And it goes back to what we were talking about just recently, or just now, with regards to what happens in the first year of their life is very, very important. Your dog got attacked when it was 6 months old. So the association your dog had then was that there's danger with unknown dogs. And what your dog is doing is kind of getting in first. It's worked out that, okay, I haven't got the confidence to meet this other dog, so I'm going to growl and snarl in the hope to keep this dog away and try to be a big dog.
Like the best defenses in offense, the best
pretty much,
defenses in offense.
yeah.
In other words, just show them first. That way you don't have to deal with it after the fact.
Yeah, and that's really what dogs, when they're barking at your front door, are doing. They're learning that, well, I'm going to bark at everything and it's going to run away because I don't have the confidence to meet this person. So you have to correct the behavior when it happens. You have to correct this defensive behavior. And that's something which, again, not all dogs are the same. It's something you are going to have to call us for because we want to do it right, because we're dealing with a fear aggression problem, and we don't want that to get worse, and we don't want you to do something wrong.
And that can be dangerous if you do it wrong.
The other thing is we don't want the dog to be afraid of you. We need there to be a consequence so that he doesn't do it. And what they do is they go from engaging something to avoiding it because of the consequence. And then from avoidance comes acceptance. So they avoid it, nothing bad happens, and they start to learn, well, nothing bad's happening. So, now they don't react. They can walk down the road. He might never be a dog that wants to, interact with all your neighbours' dogs and have a play date, but he can be a dog that just ignores other dogs and doesn't react in the way it is because he's still very young. And we don't want that getting worse. And also the problem is people are still under the idea that dogs have to meet each other face to face. Oh, can my dog meet your dog? And what we're doing there, and they do it with the best of intentions, but they're creating the perfect storm. When you put a dog face to face with another dog, it's got no flight response because it's on a leash. So the fight or flight kicks in, there's no flight, which means there's only fight left. And also staring to a dog is a challenge.
Yeah, it's not good. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's not a hi, how are you, and all the rest of it.
Right.
It's a direct challenge. So we've created a problem, and then your dog is likely to bite the other dog in the face.
Yeah. So don't do those things.
No. So give us a call. And then once we can switch the dog off, which doesn't take very long at all, we just need to find the right method. Once we can switch the dog off, then we get the dog around other dogs. We do classes on a Saturday where the dogs are doing agility and obedience. And one of the reasons we do that for dogs that have got a reactivity problem is because they can't think, I need to climb over that, go through that and round that. But I need to worry about that dog, and that dog. So we occupy its brain, and before it knows it, it's around the other dogs. No problems at all.
And it realizes nothing's happening, so it can kind of carry on.
Yeah, so I've always wondered this. Some humans, they're set up for success, and yet they still throw their life away. It almost seems like some humans are unteachable. Are some dogs unteachable? Are there any dogs with like a chemical imbalance in their brain?
That's a fair question.
It's more about the people, again.
Is it really?
To be honest, yeah. I mean, there are some dogs that have certain traits
like
more than others.
The Australian Shepherds are notoriously hard to train, or they're easy to train, but they're just so hyper that...
Yeah, they're very, very intelligent, same as the poodles. But any of those shepherding dogs tend to nip. It's in their nature.
Because that's what they do when they shepherd, right?
Yeah,
they're nipping at the sheep, they're nipping at
the cows and stuff like that. So, and because they're highly intelligent, they can outthink us. But there's certain breeds that tend to be more animal aggressive, dog aggressive. German Shepherds think everyone's a murderer.
Right.
They're guarders.
Right.
Labradors and Beagles think the whole world is edible.
Right.
They've all got their own idea about life. So the training, we have to fit it to the breed and work around the breed and its natural behaviours. But in answer to your question, that no dog is untrainable. But there's plenty of people that are.
That's funny, when you're on social media, you'll see a lot of these things. Where like, hey, the vet says these are the dogs I would never own, and inevitably, German Shepherds are on top of a lot of those lists. They apparently they are just very difficult to deal with, and they're great dogs, very loyal dogs. But
I had a Shepherd,
but my wife had a couple of them and said they were really, really difficult just simply because of what they were.
They're very much a one-person dog.
Right. Yes.
They're very much a working dog, and over the last 15, 20 years. The breed has changed a lot, and I'm seeing a lot more anxiety with shepherds, and certainly separation anxiety, which is why the military and the police tend to be going over to the Belgian Malinois, which is a far more confident animal. But again, if you know the breed and you know what their needs are, and you keep them busy, which is why when we do the in-home training, we teach the search games to wear their nose out in their brain and give them a job. If you don't give them a job, they try and find a job, and that's normally overprotection. I was in charge of 300 police dogs, 300 police German Shepherds in London, and so I know the breed very, very well. But I have seen the breed change. But they are extremely loyal dog, but they are very much a one-person dog, and they can be very overprotective.
Right,
that's where the leadership really comes in, and that's why sometimes if you've got a dog like that, and especially a Malinois. Early training for you as well as the dog is essential.
Essential, because that's a killing machine. Tell everybody how they can find you, get set up for one of these great classes, and get some of these great services so they can have a better, more fulfilling life with their animal.
If there's any behavioral problems, jumping up, barking at the door, running out the door, all those kind of things, we can do that in a 2-hour session, and we give you a lifetime guarantee with it. If you call Penny on 407-456-1066. If you want to do the group training and agility, the only prerequisite is that the dog isn't reactive to humans or dogs. We fix that first, then you can come over. And that's on Saturdays, either at Winter Springs, and come August, it will be in Oviedo as well, in Shane Kelly Park there.
Very cool.
And you can join our Facebook page if you want. Just make sure you answer the questions. It's Perfection Dog Training USA members page. And there's a lot of cool stuff on there. It's a nice site. There's no arguments. There's no backbiting.
I believe that's actually the best way to go because, once you're in that community, everything else will kind of show itself. Where you are, what you're doing,
absolutely,
and things of that nature.
Well, the thing is as well is that you can ask questions of other people. We've got 4,000 members on there, the majority of which we've trained over the years. So if you're not sure, if you think, I don't think this can be done in 2 hours, I've got my concerns, whatever, because there are a lot of scammers out there. Go on the site, ask the question, and let the people speak for us.
And how long have you guys been in business?
We've been here for 14 years.
14 years doing the same thing. So
we were there 10 years before that in England, but I ran that alongside my police career. So I've been training dogs for nearly 35 years.
Wow, man. So you get that experience. It's Perfection Dog Training. Find them online. Find them on Facebook. And, of course, get your personal in-house session. That way you can take care of those issues. Most of those things can be taken care of in just a couple hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with a lifetime guarantee, though. So
you got it, buddy. Can't lose. All right, give it up for Daryl Payne, guys.
Yeah!
407-916-1041. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
And as always...
You can always text us.
Unless you're driving.
At 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Hey everyone, Jamie King here, Fox 35 Storm Center. Just want to freshen up the Wednesday forecast as we approach midday here in Central Florida. Looks like we're mostly cloudy, hot and humid today. Upper 80s to near 90. Bit of a lull in the rain chances before 1 or 2 o'clock. After that point, they're back. Heavy-duty showers and storms, lots of lightning and heavy rain out there. Rain chance at 70%. Plus, partly cloudy, rain chance tonight at 50%. Winds from the south at 5 to 10. For Fox 35, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jamie King. Take care.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
From the Florida Department of Agriculture.
Animal House is brought to you by Glenn Klausman of Klausman Law. So if you've been in a car, truck, or even a motorcycle accident, here's a couple of reasons why you need to call Glenn Klausman. One, he'll never pass you over to a caseworker. Glenn will personally handle your case to the point where he's give you his cell phone number and then pick it up when you call. Just a couple of reasons why year after year he's voted super lawyer and legal elite, but he's also an animal lover and a true friend of the show. So if you've been in an accident, give him a call, 407-917-1718, or check him out online at klausmanlaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN law.com.
Tomorrow, iHeartRadio is partnering with Global Citizen to join artists, activists, and global citizens around the world, calling on world leaders to take urgent action against climate change and to power our planet. Celebrate the movement with Lenny Kravitz, Billie Eilish, Her, John Batiste, Phineas, and many more. Performing live. Join us for Power Our Planet live in Paris. Listen to Global Citizen Radio on the free iHeartRadio app. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.
Tools Ace Hardware has the perfect outdoor cooker for the summer. Whether it's a grill, a griddle, a pizza oven, Tools Ace is the place for the best brands out there. They have the largest selection of Big Green Egg grills and egg accessories all in Central Florida. They have the classic Weber gas and charcoal grills, as well as premium gas grills from Napoleon, Traeger pellet grills for that beautiful wood-fired flavor, as well as the new Traeger Flat Rock griddle. And now they have pizza ovens, not only from Uni like the one I have, Halo and Gosney now as well. Plus, Tools Ace Hardware has 12 convenient locations here in Central Florida. You can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store pickup or delivery. Get free assembly and local delivery on any grill or cooker, $3.99 and up. The best gifts for all summer long is Ace Hardware. Tools Ace, the grilling place.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season and available in the produce section right now. Whoa, hey, careful now. There's plenty of juicy watermelon and other tasty Florida-grown produce for everyone. I mean, all you have to do is ask for Fresh from Florida or look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
Where are you? Asteroid City.
My word, it's hot.
From director Wes Anderson. Welcome, junior stargazers.
What do those pulses indicate?
There's an alien.
Placing all witnesses under group arrest.
How long can they keep us in Asteroid City?
I'm in no hurry. I like the desert. I like aliens.
Jason Schwartzman, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks.
What a strange experience this is.
Asteroid City, rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters everywhere this Friday.
If you ride a motorcycle in Florida, someone can hit you and hurt you and legally not have insurance to pay you. Uninsured motorist coverage can help save you from financial ruin. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Yo, it's Ross. I'm here to tell you about Persimmon Hollow Brewing Company. Straight up, they make great beer. In fact, they make my favorite beer. Their Blood Orange Wheat is my #1 right now. Andy and Robbie, the minds behind Persimmon Hollow Beer, are just passionate about the beer that they brew. You can really taste how much they give a damn about their beer. Visit Persimmon Hollow at any of their 5 locations so you can enjoy passionately crafted beers. Enjoy a Persimmon Hollow beer. Drink sensibly, but get weird. PersimmonHollowBrewing.com.
Applebee's daily deals for $9.99 and under. There's a deal every day for everyone. Just $9.99 and under. That's all day, every day. Get into your local Applebee's now. Daily deals are dine-in only in limited locations listed on nrpneighborhood.com. Limited time only while supplies last. Participation varies.
Hear the latest news from the headlines on your phone. Download the free iHeartRadio app for exclusive live coverage of breaking news. From what's happening where you live to what's happening across the country. Live from the center of the story. Listen for free anywhere, anytime. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
I can't wait for what's next.
even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, and irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Apixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
On the Born to Love podcast, join Ellie Kemper from The Office and comedian Scott Eckert as they speak with celebrity guests about their lifelong passions. From hobbies and cities to holidays, movies, and more.
Love it or load it. Foam rollers.
Love it.
Yes!
Get in there. Release that lower back.
I told you, Scott, you can do it on any body part.
I believed
Quads,
you.
Lower back, neck.
Listen to Born to Love with Ellie Kemper and Scott Eckert on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Wassy's Meat Market, the best place to buy a big green egg.
Real Radio 104.1.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
Yeah, I have a question for Daryl. If my dog has a fake leg, is that a faux pas?
He got you.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. It's too good, buddy. You got me good there. Out of nowhere. All right, welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack.
Hi there.
And Ross.
Would you hibernate?
I would. Like I do it right now.
But I'm talking like straight pilot life, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Spending several hundred hours awake, but also spending several hundred hours asleep.
Man, I hear those crazy schedules that people work. Like, what firemen work like? Is it 48 on, 48 off, or something like that? Or
something like that, or 24 on, 24 off.
And my uncle, who works what they call shutdowns as a welder up in North Florida, like I'll say, hey Kurt, I'm coming over, or going to come down or whatever. And he goes, oh man, I can't. I'm working a shutdown. And he works like 10-hour days. And only gets to be off for a short period of time. And of course, you make an assload of money while you're doing that. But those crazy schedules are too much, and like shift schedules.
Oh, my best friend is a firefighter, paramedic. One of my best friends. He's down in Southwest Florida, and a lot of times I'll call him on the way to work. Today's actually his birthday. Holy hell! And I called him.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Someone should say it.
Yeah, exactly. What's his name?
Happy birthday to your best friend.
John?
No, it's Gio.
Happy birthday, Gio.
Oh, Gio. Happy birthday, Gio.
Because that's the wine-soaked peaches, right?
What I'm trying to say is, that, like, they might be at work for 48 hours straight, but, like, every now and then I'll call him and be like, yep, saving a life. I'll call you back later. And other times he's like, I'm playing Super Smash Brothers. What's up? So, like, when it rains, it pours on that schedule.
Right, yeah. Who else has bad? I mean, truckers have, but they're regulated. They can't. It used to be back in the day, you could drive like 15 hours in a row and meth out, just like straight up, just peel your eye, tape your eyes open and go. But you can't do that anymore. Their logs are really strict.
I once was told to rub ice around your eyes so it tightens the muscles around your eyes
to stay awake.
Keep your eyes up.
I haven't heard that one.
I don't even know if that's true or not, but I'm pretty sure wiping cold ass ice on your face is going to wake you up.
I was gonna say, for swelling around your eyes, you can just use Preparation H.
Which one am I missing? There's another one of those. Nurses. Nurses have. Oh my God. Well.
And the hours they have to stand on their feet.
Brutal. And you're right. They work these crazy 12 or 15-hour shifts, and they work 2 or 3 of those in a row. Then they're off 3 or 4 days.
And they deal with human fluids that we don't even know exist.
And you're right. When my mom was going through this,
that's disgusting when you think about it.
And I was in the hospital, and the nurses were there the entire time. I was like, God Almighty, man, how do you guys do this? And the shift change would be insane. They would, and a lot of times, I guess they know if you're set and you've been doing it for a while, you kind of have an idea what your schedule is. But from what I understood, that if you're new to that game, you pretty much just get what they give you.
Right.
I mean,
and you're happy.
4 days in a row going to work at 2:00 in the morning to get off at 2:00 that next afternoon.
Well, you're the newbie, so you're going to get that crap shift, you know?
Oh, man, that would be the worst.
Morning radio was, I shouldn't say morning radio, the newsroom was different.
Morning, again, because it's a fun job, you could never say that it wasn't difficult. But
news radio.
Getting up at 4:00 in the morning.
Conservative news talk radio. Yeah. So
fun.
Did you hear the news part of that?
I'm having fun.
By the way, speaking of news, I know you heard about it, but Jack, taking a page from all of our nightmares. 30-foot sinkhole has just opened 5 feet from these people's duplex in Ocala.
And Jimmy, you mentioned it earlier when we were talking about that safety inside your home. You mentioned sinkholes because it's just that one Tampa story right under the cat's bedroom. His bed, him in it, just gone.
Totally Johnny Depped his ass.
If there is, it's Final Destination.
Yes.
I mean, that is it. That's just
considering where else that thing could have opened up, and the fact that it's right there, it sucks you in there. You're all donezo. And didn't his brother go in after it?
Opens the bedroom door, and all there is a hole to the pit of earth. Jeez.
Did you guys know? Speaking of news talk and conservative news talk radio, the gentleman I used to work with, Bud Hettinger, he and his wife lost their dream home in Winter Springs due to a sinkhole.
Are you kidding?
I am not. I forgot that. And then when we had that conversation the other night, I went, wait a minute. I forgot Bud lost their first dream home they built in Winter Springs because of a sinkhole.
When Rollins lived over off of Edgewater Drive, I think it was his second house ever. God, we were probably in our mid-20s, mid to late 20s. Across the street from his house and a couple of houses down, a couple he had known forever, if I remember the story right, I'm probably screwing this up. They left to go do something. When they came back, he went around back to just do something in the backyard and noticed that his house had a giant 2-inch crack going up the entire, the side of it. In other words, the house behind the property behind him had sunk enough to basically break his house in half.
Oh.
And it didn't sink or anything like that. It didn't go into a big watery hole or anything, but it didn't matter. You couldn't even go in there. The county put up this tape around it, just basically stay the F out of here tape, because they didn't want you near it. They wouldn't even let them go. They wouldn't let them go back in to get their stuff because they said it was too dangerous. Anything could trigger it to fall. They didn't know what it was going to be.
And I think that's what's just happened in Ocala. The people that were in that home, that duplex, were able to safely evacuate, but that hole opened up less than 5 feet from the corner of that house.
Oof.
Are sinkholes a little bit like lightning, though? It's not going to happen twice in one spot?
No, I don't know about that. That's an interesting question, because you would think that if there was a sinkhole in one place, that it would be more susceptible to have another one in that same area, but I don't know.
See, I would think that, but then when a sinkhole happens, then usually, humans intervene and try to fix it.
Right.
So then I would think that would... I'm believing in humans again.
Are
there
they
I go.
fixing it, or is it just throw enough concrete in there and let's hope it all
stabilizes? Yeah, exactly.
Or build a park around it and call it a small lake.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
They did in Winter Park.
Or Lake Eola.
Yeah.
Lake Eola was a sinkhole.
Well, a lot of the lakes around here that are perfectly if you look at the ones that are perfectly round,
right,
a lot of those turned up as sinkholes.
Hey, sometimes you get a city's identity out of lemons.
And speaking of insurance, that's a big issue. Like your Polk counties, those counties between us and the Gulf Coast, they're really dealing with sinkhole issues.
The sandy.
Yeah.
Oh, man, so bad. All right, 407-916-1041. There's a crime out there that you don't really hear about anymore, but it's making a gigantic comeback. And for the life of me, I cannot understand why.
Prince of Nigeria.
I don't know anybody who does this anymore. I'll tell you what that is next.
Real Radio 104.1 is 30 years old. Guess it's time to move out of our parents' guest house. Garage. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Looking at some slow traffic this afternoon on I-4 due to a crash that blocks the right lane westbound on the interstate at Princeton Street. Another crash blocking the roadway on 192 at Orange Lake Boulevard near the 429. Another crash in Kissimmee causing some minor delays on Osceola Parkway between Buenaventura Boulevard and Simpson Road. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Pearl Specialties Olives in the sunny yellow jar.
Original MTV VJ Martha Quinn here. Pearl Specialties Olives are bursting with flavor and add the perfect Mediterranean twist to everyday meals and snacks. Rock your recipes with Pearl Specialties Olives. For quality you can trust, look for the sunny yellow jar at your local Walmart.
It's a fact when it comes to your health, early detection saves lives. We were just talking about this with Daryl Payne, no question about it. When it comes to your long-term health care, you certainly want the most information possible for sure. That's where Life Imaging FLA comes in. With Life Imaging FLA, there's no guessing game, just hard data in real time so you can create a healthcare plan that's proactive and not reactive. Ask about their free heart scan, because with my full body scan from Life Imaging FLA, I now know I got the problem with my kidneys. I got some diverticulitis and a moderately swollen prostate gland. Good thing is I have a doctor's appointment next week that's going to take care of all this, or at least we'll get a plan going. That allows me to form that plan with my primary care physician to attack these issues head on. They can do that for you as well. Do what I did. Call the guys over at Life Imaging FLA right now. Get that free heart scan with a few minimum requirements. That's a $699 value. And while you're there, ask about their cancer screening as well. And it's easy, guys. Just pick up your phone, dial pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. Again, very easy. Pick up your phone, dial pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan, and you'll be connected in seconds. Don't wait another minute. Make that very important appointment today. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Tacos for Talkbacks is back on Real Radio. We've teamed up with Tijuana Flats again to promote their 2 for $20 weekends where you can win $40 in Tijuana Flats cash this Friday. All you have to do is use the Real Radio Talkback feature on our free iHeartRadio app. It doesn't matter what you say, all Talkbacks will be entered for the $40 in Tijuana Flats cash. We'll draw multiple winners each Friday, so you can check out the 2 for $20 weekends every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Tijuana Flats for a limited time where you can get 2 entrees, 2 drinks, and an appetizer for just $20 every weekend at Tijuana Flats for a limited time only. Use the Real Radio Talkback on the iHeartRadio app now for your chance to win $40 in Flats cash to try the 2 for $20 weekends only at Tijuana Flats. Get more info at realradio.fm/taco.
Hear that? That's the sound of water coming from leaking pipes. Hi, this is Pete from Repipe Specialists. Let's end those leaks and the damages they can cause to your walls, ceilings, and floors by replacing those old, corroded, or brittle pipes with high-quality new ones. With over 30 years of experience and work that's guaranteed for life, Repipe Specialists will expertly and seamlessly repipe your entire home in just 1 to 2 days. Call us by this Saturday to save 20%. So long, water-dripping drum solos. If you have leaks or even low water pressure, call Repipe Specialists now at 407-337-4020 to schedule a free home estimate and to save 20% on your entire job, plus zero down, zero interest financing for the first 18 months on approved credit, local and insured. Call 407-337-4020 or go to repipe.com. That's 407-337-4020. Repipe.com. Repipe Specialists, making your repipe job fast, seamless, and simple. That's our specialty.
Summer offers don't get any better than this. 0% APR financing at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Plus, make no payments for 6 months. Get our exclusive lifetime warranty. And shop a huge certified pre-owned selection. Sutherland Nissan Orlando. OrlandoNissan.com.
O'Reilly. Win the battle against rust and corrosion with PB Blaster at O'Reilly Auto Parts. PB Blaster quickly busts loose rusted, corroded, or frozen parts. PB Blaster is great for everything from bolts to frozen locks. Right now, pick up an 11-ounce bottle of PB Blaster for just $6.99, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Home Depot and Behr have what you need when you need it, delivered straight to your job site and at an everyday low price. We're now delivering top-rated Behr paint, stains, and primers directly to you same day or next day. Plus, pros earn discounts with Pro Extra Paint rewards. Contact a Behr Pro Paint Specialist to schedule your paint delivery today. The Home Depot. how doers get more done. Limitations may apply. Not available in all markets. See store for details.
Let's be real, Florida home insurance is an absolute nightmare. And with hurricane season at your doorstep, you need a home insurance company that you can depend on. That's why there's Open House. They're a tech-enabled home insurance provider that uses smart data to keep your premiums low. And you can get an obligation-free quote in seconds and join your neighbors that are saving hundreds of dollars with Open House. You can also get discounts for your smart life choices, like having a gym membership or a dog. So start saving today by going to openhouseinsurance.com. See openhouse.com insurance for details. This advertisement does not constitute a binding offer or guarantee of coverage.
You know that expression, the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, with Massey Services, it's literally true. Why? Because Massey does what the others don't. Every lawn is unique, so Massey starts with a detailed analysis and then builds a customized plan to prevent and control weeds, diseases, and harmful pests. Then they aerate to ensure water and nutrients reach the roots of your lawn. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
Eating good is about more than just tasty food. Eating good is about doing good, too. And that's exactly what Fresh from Florida is all about. Supporting local Florida farmers, creating jobs in our communities, and of course, making sure you can enjoy all the fresh flavors Florida has to offer. Because produce tastes better when it's grown closer to home. So eat good tonight. Look for the Sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. You can watch radio being made on a daily basis at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is here.
Hello.
And so is Ross.
It's true.
Scott Maxwell coming up here in just a little bit. You say got an interesting caller here on line one?
Yeah, ask and you shall receive. We were wondering if a sinkhole is more likely to have another sinkhole happen next to it.
And here's Michael. He says he worked for the city of Ocala. Of course, the latest sinkhole just opened up. Deb broke that last break. What's going on, Michael? How you doing, buddy?
It's going. Hey, I worked for the city of Ocala in the streets department, specifically in the drainage crew for about 5 years. And that's all our crew did was sinkholes and digging the ditches and all that stuff. And, yes, a sinkhole can definitely open up in the same spot. I'll give you a prime example. Up here near the Marion County landfill, Baseline Road and Mary Camp, we had one open up couple years ago, and we patched that up with the assistance from the state, and it actually opened right back up right when we were done fixing it up.
Wow. So when you say fixing it up, is it pumping it full of concrete or more dirt, or what do you do?
That's the scary thing. Our protocol is more dirt and lime rock. That's the only thing we use.
Wow. And the lime rock is supposed to mix with the dirt and the water, almost create
its own natural concrete.
Yeah, it's almost like a plaster almost.
Yeah, almost. It seals up. We cap it off about 6 inches above the level of the road or the surface where it opened up. If it sinks, that means it's still going. If it doesn't, that means we can scrape off that little bit. If it's on a main road, we put asphalt down to cover it, and people go on their merry ways.
Wow.
Say a prayer.
How long do you give it? That's an interesting question there, because once you fill that thing up, how long do you guys wait before you have come to the conclusion that it's not going to sink anymore?
It depends on the size as far as width and depth. Big ones, it can be anywhere from 72 to 96 hours. Little ones, we typically wait like the minimum of 48 hours.
Got it. Wow, man, that's crazy, man. It's got to be creepy being near one of those because you're not sure how the ground is going to react that you're working on.
Yep. Try looking down into one and you see the electrical wires. That's always a fun time.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thanks for your call, buddy. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, be safe.
916-1041. No, thank you.
No.
I'll take a hard pass on the getting near the opening. There was one that happened at a golf course, and I just saw this online, and the dudes were sitting on the edge of it and dangling their feet as if it was like a pond they were about to go swimming in. I'm like, you guys are stone cold morons.
It must be from not around here.
No joke.
That's right up there with me, along with spelunking.
Oh, yeah.
I've never wanted to go underwater cave diving.
Yeah, no, thanks.
It'd
That's
be
a hard pass.
fascinating.
Yeah. No, I've done scuba diving. I love scuba diving. I haven't done it in a long time, but cave diving is a different gear, especially when the deeper you go in, the more challenging it is. And then for the people, when you have to take your tank off
and feed it through the hole.
God,
no, forget about it.
And then also the creatures down there, catfish.
Isn't Eagle's Nest? Isn't that the big one up in Marion County where there have been a couple of cave diving deaths?
Oh, I don't know. I know the one Silver Glen has had a couple deaths, and I know that the one at Blue Springs, when you dive down there, they put a gate across the entrance to it, and they have a sign there with a Grim Reaper. That says, you basically don't go past here. You can actually, if you go online, you can bring that up and see it.
Damn.
They have a gate there that says do not. And the one at Silver Glen, I don't even know if you could dive down. The water flow is so incredible that I just simply don't think you could make it down there. I mean, when you swim over the what they call the bubble or the boil,
right?
When you swim over it, actually forces you back. But you can go over it with like with a scuba gear or with a snorkeling gear and look down, and it's just an abyss. Just an abyss and just fish swimming in circles down there as far as you can see.
Cool.
It's bananas. It makes you feel creepy. Like it feels creepy doing that.
Because like Ross said, there could be creatures down there like cryptids we haven't discovered yet.
Catfish, man.
All
Right through the hand.
407-916-1041.
So there's it's a big white sign on 2 posts, and there's a picture of the Grim Reaper there. It says, "Stop. Prevent your death. Go no farther." And then it has fact.
And where is this again? Silver Glen?
It's advertised like a British pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's like Blue. I think it's Blue Springs has that one.
Yeah, an
but I'm not-
Erie underwater cave death warning.
Yeah.
Okay, Erie underwater death warning.
And I think there's a couple divers that never came up, and then other divers found them later, like just sitting on the bottom. It's so crazy.
Ugh.
I just don't need that excitement in my life. I just don't need it. Maybe I do. I don't think I do, but I don't know. All right, so what do you guys think this crime is? I said before we went to break, there's a crime that's kind of reemerging, and I had no idea it would even be able to reemerge because I didn't know anybody did this anymore.
Oh, toupee theft.
No, it's not toupee theft. People wear toupees, Jack.
Duplicating Pepsi points.
No,
God,
duplicating.
I'm good.
That's such a good one, though, but no.
That felt right.
No
romance
Jack for you.
scams.
No romance scams is still going quite well. Big story today about romance scams.
Really?
Oh, yeah. No, it's check fraud.
Oh, I remember checks.
Remember check fraud? Man, check fraud used to be a thing, and then it wasn't a thing. But what do you think brought it back?
People using checks more for a certain. Why would people be using checks again?
Because some businesses went no cash.
No, that's not it.
Still another good guess.
This just happened in the last 3 years.
Pandemic?
Yeah,
Is it
that's
pandemic related.
The pandemic money, when it was coming in, the crooks figured out what the checks looked like, which, I mean, I guess it looks like a check from the IRS, right, kind of. And they started figuring that out and stealing those checks and washing them, what they call check washing, which is they use a fluid, I forget what it is exactly, but it's basically something that would melt the ink off there. They could dab and get it off there and then re-put in whatever amount they want, whatever person they want.
Which is why there's a particular gel pen
exactly
that they say that is the only pen you should use if you're still writing checks because it's the one ink they can't wash off.
680,000 reports of check fraud in the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. That's up from 350,000 in 2021. So it's almost doubled in just a couple of years. Now, here's the problem. I was like, do you write checks? Do you still write checks?
To be honest, no. I don't even know where my checkbook is.
Yeah. Do you?
I'm down to less than 5 a year.
5 checks a year?
Yeah.
Ross, do you write checks at all?
I'm 33.
You're sorry. That's a fair question. Fair answer. We have a checkbook, and the only time I write checks is when we have construction or anything done at our house. we have to leave a check deposit with our homeowners association in case something happens to anything in the neighborhood, and they can have that money to take it back out of. Other than that, we just don't have that. We've had the same check since we got married. Right. 18 years ago.
Wow.
We have not, I mean, other than when we changed our address, that would be the only thing, but we haven't used them at all.
It was about 20 years ago when I decided, my next checkbook, I'm getting ones with Yankee emblems, and I did. And if you get one box, it's a price, but if you get 2 boxes, it's a better price.
Oh, no,
Jack. I have 5 boxes.
Oh.
What do you write your 5 checks for a year?
One was the dog groomer, who is a person I know who does a fantastic job. One is a service guy who comes to the house, and then the rest were always school related. For my daughter, when she went to school, it was easier to send them with a check. And actually, the schools, as of a year ago, still preferred a handwritten check.
That is crazy.
And some county offices for a while would not let you pay with anything other than a check. I mean, you couldn't write, not even cash, right?
Yeah. And sometimes with your car registration, with all it's so convoluted and government-esque, it's sometimes easier just to give them a check.
But now they charge you $5 for it, don't they?
There's a different fee for every different way.
By the way, I wanted to let everyone know the pen is the Pilot G2 and the Uniball gel pen. Those are the pens they say. I mean, they're better. It's not going to stop check fraud. They do say to use every bit of the lines. So make sure your signature takes up that whole line. Make sure when you write out the amount, it takes up the whole space.
Don't leave them any blank space.
Don't leave them any blank space to add in their own edits.
All right, so how many checks do you think were written in 2022?
3.
No. I mean, by the entire U.S.
You know, I've got 5.
Okay, there you go.
How many checks do you think everybody, collectively, the United States, in our interbanking system?
100 million.
100 million. Good guess. What do you think there?
I'll go 25 million.
25 million. What do you think, Deb?
Oh, I'm going to go 52 million.
All right, 3.4 billion checks written in 2022. Down from, how many do you think were written in 1990?
So wait, what was the number?
And this past year, 2022, it was 3.4 billion checks. How many do you think it was in 1990?
15.
52 billion.
Oh, my. I'll shoot it. 30 billion.
19 billion checks. So, I mean, it has dropped markedly.
Yeah.
The average check written in the U.S., and I can assume this is for all the utilities, is about $2,600. And it says, despite the declining use of checks, criminals have increasingly targeted the U.S. mail since COVID-19. So if you send anything by check, which I do not suggest at all, what happens is they started doing these tests and they started sending out checks just to see what was going on. This one company realized that this one postal service had more thieves in there, and of the 15 checks they sent out, just test checks, 10 of them were stolen and cashed. Because what they do is
by the postal workers?
What they do is the postal workers steal the checks, but they don't cash them because, of course, then there's a path. What they do is they hire a person called a walker, and they train them just like you would train an employee to do something, how to look inconspicuous, how to look normal, how to to control your breathing when you're passing a bad check. And they busted this one chain in California. They'd made $5 million in 1 year.
Oh.
Just off fraudulent checks. They pay the walker a few bucks. The walker goes in, cashes the check, comes back out, hands it to the person who did it. They hand them their money, and off they go. And they just do a series of different banks and have fake IDs. They do the whole 9 yards. They have an army of them out there. So if you're writing checks, please stop. It's bad news because it can be washed and then cashed, and then you're donezo. I think it's still covered by FDIC, though, but still, who wants to deal with that?
Well, I mean, who wants to take the risk of your account being compromised?
Man, I would never send a check. Not in a million years. I'd much rather use my debit card. Joke. All right, 407-916-1041. Scott Maxwell up next.
If Twitter is imploding, we're going along for the ride. Join us at Real Radio 1041 on Twitter, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looking at some slow traffic this afternoon on I-4 as you take the interstate both east and westbound. Make sure you're driving with extra caution this afternoon as thunderstorms and heavy rain are in the forecast for the remainder of the day. Looking at some slowdowns due to a crash reported on Central Florida Parkway near John Young. Another crash causing delays on University Boulevard at Dean Road. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Stop waiting for a great deal on better sleep. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is happening now. Save up to $700 on top brands when you get a king bed for a queen price. Plus, get a free adjustable base on qualifying purchases. Shop today to get the right bed at the right price.
The Jim Colbert Show question of the day just hit the YouTube chat. It's at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. It's going up in Facebook, the Jim members page, and also on Twitter at Real Radio 1041. We want you to answer our question. We'll talk about it at the end of the program. And a big shout out to Brad Siebert at wearenotthebanks.com because they sponsor the question of the day today. It's wearenotthebanks.com for all your mortgage needs. Whether you pay your mortgage electronically or with a written check, the person who can help secure your mortgage is Brad Siebert. If you are looking for your next home, We Are Not the Banks can help. If you want to refinance the home where you currently live, wearenotthebanks.com can help there as well. That's who I used for my refi several years ago. Brad Siebert took me through the process, fast, easy, and I got a great rate. Thanks to Brad, I'm in a much better place financially today because of that refi with wearenotthebanks.com about 8 years ago. For all your mortgage needs, good credit, or even bumps in your credit, they can still work with you. All types of loans. This is what they do. They're not the banks. They're better than the banks. That's why you go to wearenotthebanks.com and get started. NMLS ID number 66247, equal housing opportunity.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Hey, Monster fans, Russ here. You know what is really scary? Utility rates. So let's talk about solar. You may have seen solar popping up all over the place. Well, there's a good reason. One is utility rates are rising. Two, government incentives can dramatically lower the cost to solar. So if you want to go solar, call Solar Source. Monster fans get special access to their new solar estimate tool. Visit solarsource.com/monsters. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
I'm back. And look at all the fresh from Florida produce I brought home. You have heard of Fresh from Florida, right?
Fresh I have.
That's refreshing to hear.
Fresh from Florida produce is fresh as fresh can get.
And if we're going to freshen up daily meals, it's refreshing to know that locally grown Fresh from Florida produce is available year-round.
Well, that's a breath of fresh air. Got anything else?
I'm fresh out.
Look for Fresh from Florida where you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
When it comes to $1 small Slurpee drinks at 7-Eleven, no one's doing it like you. You're inventing new flavor combos, throwing caution to the wind. You're a frozen fizz whiz, a pina colada prodigy. You mix cherry and blue raspberry like a pro. Only you know the perfect ratio. Just when they think you're done, you add a splash of summertime citrus, just because you can. And because your small Slurpee drink masterpiece is just $1 at 7-Eleven. Slurpee, anything flows. Expires 12/31/2023, plus tax. Visit store for details.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Did you miss the open enrollment for health insurance? Did you enroll into a high-deductible, limited network marketplace plan? It's not too late. You can still change your plan at any time. The folks at USABG's Freedom of Choice plan are available now. This plan puts most of your coverage right up front, where you only meet a deductible if you go into a hospital. You pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower than Obamacare. With USABG's Freedom of Choice plan, the monthly premiums are not tied to your income, so there's no surprises at tax time. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employment coverage is just too expensive, call USABG today at 321-380-4540. That's 321-380-4540. Or go to usabgflorida.com. That's usabgflorida.com. USABG's Freedom of Choice Plan. They can customize a plan managed by you, not the government.
Welcome back. Dave and Herb here, and we're talking fresh. Fresh from Florida, that is. Dave, tell our listeners about the produce that's in season. There's tomatoes, broccoli, watermelon, frappers, spinach. Wait, hold it. You're just putting fra in front of produce. Yeah, as in fresh from Florida. Produce tastes better when it's grown closer to home. You don't need to make up words. Really? Ugh, friends. Visit followfreshfromflorida.com to see what's in season. Don't you mean .from? Ugh, really?
Welcome to the good stuff. I'm Jacob Schick, a third-generation combat Marine.
And I'm his co-host and wife, Ashley Schick. We believe everyone has a story to tell, not only about the peaks, but the valleys they've been through to get them to where they are today. We're joined by some amazing guests who share the lessons they've learned that shaped who they are and what they're doing to pay it forward and give back.
Listen to the good stuff on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
0% APR financing on new Nissans. Now at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. OrlandoNissan.com.
So apparently Facebook is still a thing? Search gym members and join our group.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us easily at 77031. Thanks so much for listening on this beautiful Wednesday here in Maitland as we dodge lightning storms and flying debris. Did you guys see the cruise ship that got hit over in Port Canaveral right before it left?
I did not.
Oh, man.
Deck chairs flying, knocking people over.
That thing went from zero to Florida in no time at all, teaching people a small lesson about our wonderful state.
Yeah, it's one too many of these crews running into like nasty weather all of a sudden videos.
All right, welcome back. I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. You guys give it up good and loud. He returns from vacation to come see us, Mr. Scott Maxwell.
Yay!
You guys are the only reason I came back.
Yeah, I know, buddy.
I would have
I know.
stayed on vacation forever.
All right, you can read him Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays in the Orlando Sentinel. And, of course, follow him on Twitter at Scott_Maxwell. How was your vacation, buddy?
Oh, it was really nice. It was a very low-key week at the North Carolina coast where we did fishing and boiling shrimp and playing cards. The only sort of drama that happened is most of my family, not including me, went out on a kayaking expedition and made the mistake of doing it when there was a small craft advisory. And long story short, the Sunset Beach Fire Department ended up being involved in a rescue.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, no.
Keep in mind, this is my 80-something-year-old mother out in a kayak in the marsh.
Maxwell, what are you doing? Why would you even let her?
I'll tell you what I was doing. I was drinking beer back home. I did not go.
That's such a terrible look for you. You let your mother drown while you chilled.
My mother, my wife, my son's girlfriend, all out there, and I'm having beers back in the cabin, playing cards with my brother.
That's just not your thing, the kayaking thing, just not your...
It was fine. I mean, it would have been fine, I'm sure. Well, it turns out, who's the smart one now?
Yeah. I read your column today. It was very funny. Obviously, I was telling everybody before the show that you went up to North Carolina and you checked out, but it's hard to check out completely, Scott. I think we both would love to believe that we could both, throw our phones out, even while on a cruise. That's the most disconnected I am. I famously, exactly right. First thing I do, it's almost a tradition, is walk straight to the room, open the safe, and throw my phone in. But even then, I try to find a TV or two on the ship to catch up on what's happening out there in the world so I don't come back to too many surprises. And then when you came back, it was just like this list of Florida in your face.
Yeah, and you and I, that's one of the things we both like about cruise ships. I'm still one of the rare guys that does not pay for the internet package because, like you, that is the one place I'm able to sort of disconnect. But I sort of made a rule for myself this past week that I would only check the news once a day, early in the morning before everybody else got up. And it was with a little bit of distance that I was able to see our state is still what crazy. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And it's not just crazy, it's angry, man. Like you just log on and one day's headline is protesters wave Nazi flags outside Disney World. You're like, all right, I guess that's going on in Orlando today. The next day is DeSantis wants Confederate general's name restored on Army base. I'm like, well, we don't even have an Army base in Florida. Why is he getting loud about that? You know, the College Board is telling Florida it can't ban LGBTQ topics on AP classes. I don't know, man. I think we get beaten down. We're just in it every day, and I think I was kind of reminded that it's not normal. That's not the way the rest of America lives, and it's not the way Florida used to be. We were sort of weird, wild, wacky, laid back, but man, we are angry now and divisive, and man, every headline is just about pitting one group of Floridians against another, and kind of made me sad and want to drink more beer and boil more shrimp.
Hey, just interestingly, that's funny because that's always fine. I'll be down for all that all the time. Code Black loves doing that. We are at Code Black's house boiling shrimp 3 or 4 times a year. It's the greatest. Did you happen to see the Brett Baer interview with former President Trump?
I did not see all of it, but I saw long excerpts of it, and I thought he did a pretty good job, Brett Baer, from all things I saw and what else I read about him. There were some funny excerpts.
Yeah, it was bananas. I mean, I think it was as damning as anything I've seen him say or do, and everybody thinks it's been a disaster. Even ranking Republicans believe that as well, which is, and again, just another notch in that belt. But did you happen to see any of the town halls with any of the other Republican nominees by any chance? Chris Christie or Mike Pence?
I did not.
Yeah, I found them very interesting. I would suggest just a brief overview of that when you get a few minutes. Just go by and check them out. And I did want to ask you, when you're up there in the Carolinas, you're coastal Carolina. That's a totally different vibe than coastal Florida, right?
Oh yeah. It's everything Southern and sweet tea and fried food. But everybody's got real politeness going on. Not the people. I mean, I love Florida. This is my home. I've been here 25 years. But it might be a little fake in North Carolina, like they might put on their Klan robes after they say hello. but people really go out of their way to welcome you and be polite, and it is a different sort of vibe up there.
Yeah. Is that where you got the perspective of Florida, because you're kind of immersed in that Carolina kindness, and then looking back down on Florida is where you maybe started going, wow, man, we used to be a little bit of that. I mean, you used to come into Florida and you'd get that Southern charm. I don't think we get credit for even being in the South anymore. I think we've just kind of almost morphed out of that, and I don't even think the state gets credit for having Southern charm anymore.
I think you're absolutely right. But I think the other reason that it struck me is that I was sort of perusing. I was looking at Florida news, but also looking at national news. There was only one state making headlines about Nazis. Okay? there was that wasn't coming out of Wisconsin. I wouldn't get New Hampshire Nazi chapter updates. And as you know, that's not the first time. Not even this year. And
let's face it, there's at least 13 very qualified states to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's right. But no, I do think it used to be sort of North Florida was considered as the South. And then South Florida has never really been in the South. That's been a different place altogether. And Central Florida was sort of the melting pot. But yeah, we're fighting. We are fighting these days.
I think we have our own like Mason-Dixon line. I really do believe that. I believe just above Orlando. I would say maybe go up to maybe DeBerry, and draw a line across the state there, going all the way over to maybe Ormond Beach and Daytona, and then everything north of that would still have some of that southern charm. I think maybe even in the Panhandle they have that. Up in Duval County.
If you go I don't know, even just 30 minutes west of Gainesville up to High Springs and some of those places, I mean, that's countrified up there, and they do have a lot of that southern roots. I mean, I've actually done some study into this. They sort of define the South as where you're served, for instance, sweet tea without being asked, like whether that's the de facto, and that's not the case here in Orlando. In most places, where kudzu grows, where chiggers are, there's all sorts of things, and we don't
Jimmy's
meet
house?
many of those.
Right, yeah. But I mean, I noticed that when I moved down here, even back in the 80s, when I moved down here in 85, I remember going back, and of course, everybody where I lived that still stayed home asked me what it was like in Orlando, and I would tell them it was just, considerably, it was more impersonal than it would have been in my hometown and areas around that nature. It just was less personal. I don't know how to say it. There was less of a connection with other people automatically. Like you didn't feel like you had to say hello to somebody because you were passing them in a hallway or maybe in a store. But back home, you made eye contact and said hello to almost everybody you encountered while out and around. That just didn't happen down here. It was just more.
You walk around the beach, a beach town in North Carolina, and everybody says hello and waves every time. It gets exhausting to take a 2-mile walk up and down the island. The way my wife defines what you're talking about, Jim, is nobody does the courtesy wave down here in Florida after you let somebody through, after you pause on the highway. Nobody gives you that, hey, howdy do, thanks for doing that, and making it. Now, there are some other differences that are really better about Central Florida culturally. In those southern places, sometimes that southern charm is just a facade. And it's hard for new people to move into a town and make an impact or start up a business when they got those sort of clandestine old southern families that got a grasp on everything. Down here, that's one of the things that's really great about Florida, and I've heard that from all sorts of people. New people come down and they are pretty much welcomed. You're a blank slate, and you can start a new job. We welcome people, new sports teams. They can take over United Arts. You can start up a new business. That's got some good and some bad because we've had some shady characters set up shop here too. But there is something more embracing about newcomers in Central Florida because most people are new than there are in sort of those deep South places. But yeah, the Southern politeness is not.
Yeah. Also, you don't have the infrastructure impact in areas like where I'm from. Like, Palatka has always been about 10,000 people. I mean, in its best day, it was 12, I mean, when everything was just cracking along. But in Central Florida, so many different people move into this area every day. It just seems like everybody's anonymous for a couple years because you don't even, and it's such a transient area. Jim Phillips, who worked here for years, of course, Jim, used to not make friends with anybody in the building. And everybody thought he was a curmudgeon because of that. And I remember talking about that to him specifically, like, why do you have such a, not a bad reputation, but why do you have such a stoic reputation with the company and with the sales reps? He goes, man, they're not going to be around long. Yep. He goes, I've been here so long. I mean, why get to know somebody? Because they're going to work here for a year and they're going to take off. It was just the nature of the business. So he never really got to bother to really know any of them. And it wasn't even a defense mechanism. It was just him understanding that why waste the time to get to know somebody when they're going to be gone in 6-8 months or maybe a year at the very most.
I had a friend, a former Sentinel writer, our longtime City Hall reporter, Dan Tracy, who used to proudly say he wasn't going to make a point of learning any of our colleagues' names until they were here for 5 years.
Exactly.
Because they didn't think they were going to be around here. Another one of those similar things that you're mentioning that's different, and I think Jim Phillips also mentioned, and by the way, Jim is a curmudgeon. I mean, we love Jim, but he also
he's a little
is
bit
a curmudgeon.
He's a little bit
Yeah, I mean, last time I talked to him, he was talking about moving to Paraguay.
Was he really? He's talking about that for years, though. He always talking about moving to Costa Rica once. I mean,
Yeah. But another thing is, down here, I am amazed at how many people do not know their neighbors. People who live like 2 houses down. And man, in the South, when you move in, you're getting a homemade loaf of banana bread and maybe a jar of moonshine brought right over to you within the first 2 days. And people, I have coworkers and friends who say, I don't know the guy 2 houses down, and we've lived there for 10 years.
That's crazy. I will tell you something, and I've got the reverse of that. So
I'm guilty.
So my mother-in-law is the most personable human being you can meet. And I will tell you how much. This is a true story, by the way. We would go camping together because they have an RV. We had an RV at the time. And we would go camping, go to camping trips together. And it was a blessing to have in-laws that you got along with so well. You could spend entire weekends together. I remember this specifically when I woke up one morning to go play or to go do something, to go shooting or something like that when we were camping. And we had only been there, we got there that night. So it was just that morning we woke up. It was our first full day in the campsite. By the time I got back 3 hours later, My mother-in-law knew every single person's first and last name and where they were from within 10 campers, a radius of 10 campers, because she just goes out there and starts saying hey to people. She will literally walk right up to people and just introduce herself and start a conversation. And people just simply don't do that anymore because people don't want to be interrupted.
I think that's a strong attribute to have. With that said, that's how I got mugged.
Yeah.
Where's your mother-in-law originally from?
She's from Sanford.
Sanford.
Yeah,
okay, a small town at its root, and Sanford had a lot of southern roots, especially in the old days.
Her first job was one of the little drugstores down there. That's now like a thrift store or one of those, one of the bars or whatever. That's where she worked, and as a kid, she just was very personal. Her entire family's kind of like that. She will just walk up to anybody and just say hi, introduce herself. Hi, I'm Melinda. I'm from Orlando. What's your name? And just start talking. And people are. I've seen people kind of taken back by it. Like they don't know what to do. Because it's so unnatural for people these days, especially in this city, to just approach you and try to introduce yourself and just create a conversation and see what's up.
And I know you and I are going to border on sounding like old farts doing our back in the day, everything was better routine.
Yeah.
But like Christmas, one of my most vivid memories is my parents would deliver Christmas presents to everyone in the neighborhood. And it would involve actually getting a wagon. A wagon, and we would load it up, and it would take 3 hours to walk up and down all the streets and give everybody the candied walnuts or whatever the hell my mom, or the pickled beets that my mom would make for everybody. But I think if somebody knocked on my door right now with a thing of pickled beets, I'd probably call the cops or get out a gun.
Oh, I'd be standing behind the door with my shotgun. But listen, but we did this very thing in our neighborhood. This is a neighborhood we'd lived in for years. It was myself and Code Black. We got one of those landscape trailers. Just one of those little utility trailers, put hay in it and stuff, and we would hook it up with lights and stuff. And on Christmas, we'd drag it around the neighborhood, and the kids would carol. One of us would run up, knock on the door. The couple would come out, or the family would come out, and we'd sing them a couple Christmas carols. And by the way, with this trip, it just so happened we lived down the street from Buddy Morrow at that time, who was the trombone player for the damn Carson Band. He was an internationally known, you can look him up, a trombone player, and he would be sitting up there blowing his trombone, playing these things. And there are some people that would not open the door. They would like, no, thank you. How do you say no, thank you to a kid singing you a Christmas carol, or like 8 or 10 of them in unison? But people were just freaked out. They just not interested in meeting new people.
Yeah, we used to do that. We used to carol all the time. We used to get the hot wax from the candles dripping.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sounding.
Listen, man.
Can I tell you something else funny though?
Yes.
That it's we're just shooting the breeze. Yesterday, you all had an interesting discussion about whether it was healthy, Jim. You led it to be a night owl or a morning lark.
Yes.
I think you would. So I think I get up really early, and my doctor was asking me not long ago about my sleeping habits, and I was sort of proud to say, you know what, Doc, I only need about 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and I feel pretty blessed that way. And I've always felt like I get just more life than most people. And he said, yeah, or. And I said, what? He said, or. He said, I said, what are you saying? Or he said, well, the other philosophy is that all of us only get so many hours in our lives, and you're just burning through yours a lot faster than everybody else.
Oh, wow. That's not what you want your doctor to say to you.
No. So I thought I was killing it, but this could be our last show.
It's killing you.
Well, everybody thought for the longest time it was your circadian rhythm, like your sleep was the one that was going to put you in the grave early. But they said obviously it wasn't that. It's the fact that if you're a night owl, the things you do while being a night owl are more conducive to hurting you. Because I'm a 6-hour sleep guy, and I don't even know that I can sleep more than 6 hours. I just wake up after 6 hours.
If I am up after midnight, it is only because I've either A, gotten up to pee, or I'm in a casino. Those are the only two options.
Hey, real quick, we got to get out of here, but did you hear, I guess they're about to give the convention center some more cash? Is that what we were looking for there?
Talk to your buddy Mike Thomas.
That's whack.
How much more, Scott?
I think they won $600 million. That's $500 million. Yeah.
$600 more million.
Can someone
They
at
put
your
in a
paper
ranking
write a
yesterday.
story about it?
Yeah, could you do something about that? Don't you know somebody who writes?
Don't you try to get my blood pressure up. I was catching fish and drinking beer a week ago right now.
Yeah, now you got to get back to work. Get that pen in your hand, dog.
All right.
All right, man. There he is, Scott Maxwell, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The angry man with a tan.
Yeah, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You can read him in the Sentinel. And of course, follow him every day at Scott_Maxwell. Scott, have a good week, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Talk to you next week.
All right, buddy. You'll TikTok to me next week. All right, very good. All right, fine. The guy's a professional writer. Remember that. All right, back in a sec with trivia. Load them up. 407-916-1041.
We have a prize. Get on board at 407-916-1041. Jim Colbert Show Trivia is brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. That's CENTO moving.com.
This is Eric Dickerson. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
Randy Arozarena went 3 for 3 with a home run. He helped lead the Rays past Baltimore this afternoon, earning a split for the AL East leaders. A couple of teams coming off streak-snapping losses will meet tonight when Orlando City hosts Philadelphia. The Lions had a 6-game run stopped on Saturday. And Wimbledon is teaming with IBM to produce artificial intelligence commentary for online highlight reels during this year's tournament. I'm Scott Davidson.
During Staples Small Business Deal Days, you save 50% when you buy any combination of 5 or more boxes, mailers, and shipping tubes. Offer ends July 1st. Exclusions apply. Not valid in Concord, New Hampshire location. Prices may vary. Keep your business running right and save at Staples.
Let's get you a new bathroom, courtesy of Rebath in Mid-Florida. These guys are very, very good at this, and these products are amazing. You know, one of the biggest misconceptions about working with Rebath is the fact that they're like, well, yeah, sure, they can get it in so fast because, you know, these are flimsy materials. You can just kind of move them around, no problem whatsoever. That is not even remotely accurate. By the way, most of these materials are companies that you know already. These are names that you already know. Plus, natural stone like travertine marble. That's what they're installing, guys. And they can do everything. That's one of the great things about Rebath. The tubs, the toilets, the lighting, the cabinetry, the tiles, it's all done by them. They have it in-house, which even makes this better. You come in with your ideas, meet with their design team, you see their products, and next thing you know, between the two of you, you guys have a beautiful bathroom that's just ready to be installed. They do that in just 4 to 6 days. Drop by their showroom. That's a good start. 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. You'll see some models set up. Those models are just to show you what the products look like because they can match those trends that you see on TV in those rebuilding shows or in magazines. They can do those things. Daryl Payne in here today. 2 bathrooms from Rebath. They are amazing. You should have seen him showing me those photographs. He was so proud. And the reason why is because his bathrooms are beautiful and yours can be as well. Hop online and look at the before and afters and then book your appointment for your new bathroom at rebathmidfla.com.
GiveMeTheVin.com now has 40 offices around the U.S. 40. We did $2 billion in buys last year, $2 billion with a B, because we pay the most, we're easy to deal with, and we take care of you, the customer. That's why we have 4 stars, the highest rankings of any car buyer. GiveMeTheVin.com dominates. Why? Because we take care of our customers. They don't call me America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
If it's a day that ends in Y, you're probably stuck in Florida traffic. So turn that AC up one more notch, aim the vents toward your face, and think of a better place, like the cool, colorful produce section in your favorite grocery store. Why? Because that's where all the cool, colorful, fresh from Florida produce is. Produce just tastes better when it's grown closer to home. And when you buy fresh from Florida, you're supporting local farmers and jobs in our communities. So after you're done being stopped in traffic, pick up some fresh from Florida on your way home.
So there I was, deep in the heart of the jungle. You know, solving all the puzzles, doing my thing. Then I see it. The lost treasure of Simia. I grab it, hightail it out of there in my Nissan Rogue. Suddenly, arrows. Fire. Now, I know this may sound like an epic tale of adventure, but it's a Nissan sales event ad. The temple crumbles, boom, crash, but I'm too fast with my trusty VC turbo engine.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select 2023 Nissan Rogue trims. Availability is limited. Shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. For well-qualified buyers, 0% APR financing for 36 months on new 2023 Rogue, excluding S-Trim and dealer stock. Example, 36 months financing at $27.78 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. N7523.
I won over $500,000 playing slots. I do this full time and I would not change it for the world. It's fun and I win. I win a lot.
It happens every day. Regular people are winning every single day. Whether it's $500 or $50,000, anybody can win. Because when they win, I feel like I'm winning.
I came one night, hit the double downs, had a couple of good runs, and won about $300,000.
Anybody could win at Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa.
Must be 21 to play slots or table games. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance company. And never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Focus on getting better and let us take care of everything else. Our experienced team will get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day to do great things. Yes, like finally getting your closet organized. Or fixing your water heater so you can enjoy warm, steamy showers. Oh, yeah. Do something great today by calling Plumbing Today to take care of all your plumbing needs. Right now, get our 93 or free drain clearing and get the best from today.
Call today, Plumbing Today, plumbingtoday.biz.
Visit plumbingtoday.biz to book an appointment.
I can't wait for what's next, even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, apixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Car crash? Call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Obviously, this is why YouTube was created. Obviously, at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. That's how you call us, text us easily at 77031. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
So is Jack.
Bro.
Ross has the sauce jar.
All aboard! Chugga chugga.
Choo choo. Lickety clack, lickety clack.
I have a pair of tickets to see the original Misfits coming to Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater in Tampa. That show's going down June 24th. Also in the sauce jar, I have a ridiculously bad case of the hiccups. Also in the sauce jar, I have a pair of tickets to see Peter Frampton on the Never Say Never tour at Hard Rock Live for one night only. That's going down Friday, June 30th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Quickly, before we get to that, trivia about Frampton. What was one thing that Frampton did that ruled the world for a while?
Alligator shoes.
I think for the longest time, Frampton had the best-selling live album of all time. Frampton Comes Alive was one. I believe Kiss Alive 2 was up there as well, but I believe that Frampton album was like a record setter of a seller.
And that is your sauce jar, which is always brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. Got a move coming up? Call them. They can handle it. Local, doesn't matter, long distance, residential or commercial, but it does matter if you mention the Jim Colbert Show because that's going to get you a discount. Book them today at centomoving.com. That's CENTO Moving.com. Hope you get rid of the hiccups. Back to you.
Thank you very much there. Ross, who do we go first today? Or who goes first today?
Let's welcome the first guy to ever do it. Let's welcome Adam.
Adam right there on line 5. Adam, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Want to play a little game with us?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, buddy.
Want to play a game?
All right, Adam, this is a really easy game with a question here for you. 4 answers. One of them is untrue, a stone cold lie. And if you can find that one, I will send you to the sauce jar, maybe off to see Frampton, maybe even the Misfits. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. It's National Peaches and Cream Day.
Yum.
That's right. Here are 3 fun facts about peaches and one fuzzy little lie.
Aw.
Number 1, peaches originated in China around 8,000 years ago. Number 2, the pit of a peach is called a stone. Number 3, peaches are part of the mango family. Or lastly, although Georgia is known as the peach state, they're actually 3rd in production behind California and South Carolina. Which of those is a lie?
Total guess. I'll go with number 4.
Number 4, unfortunately, is absolutely true. Georgia is known as a peach state, but California and South Carolina produce more peaches than Georgia.
Wow.
There you go. Who's next, Ross?
There's so many peach streets out in Georgia and Atlanta. God almighty.
Peachtree Center, peach everything.
Peachtree, Peach Lane, Peach
Hey,
Center.
we
Man.
go to Georgia Peach World.
Yeah.
Let's welcome Sue.
Sue right there on line 2. How you doing, Sue?
Hi, guys.
Hey, you ready?
I am Peaches.
All right, we're talking about... Oh, so cute. All right, number 1, peaches originated in China around 8,000 years ago. Number 2, the pit of a peach is called a stone. Or lastly, peaches are part of the mango family.
I'm going to go with China.
No, that's true. That's
Wow.
true. Peaches originated in China around 8,000 years ago, and they made their way over to Persia, now known as Iran.
Right.
Where they were known as the Persian pear, I think. Who's next?
Let's welcome Lee.
Lee right up top. Lee, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good, man. You got a 50-50 shot here of getting some cool prizes, maybe some Frampton or Misfits tickets. We're talking about peaches. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, the pit of a peach is called a stone. Or lastly, peaches are part of the mango family.
I'm going to go with the mango.
That's the one, buddy. You're a winner.
Yay!
Put you on hold there. Hey, any idea what peaches are related to?
Nectarines.
Well, nectarine is just a genetically altered peach that has no fuzz, but they're related to apricots and roses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, peaches are part of the rose family, which is really weird.
That's a good lie there, Jim. Good trivia.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
I was definitely leaning towards I would have gotten that wrong.
Okay, very good. There are 700 varieties of peaches.
Whoa.
700. Actually, one thing said 2,000, but that sounded a little high, so I went with the over 700, which can also be right. A nectarine is a peach that's been genetically altered to remove the fuzz because some people just don't like the fuzz. They don't like it on their teeth. They say it feels weird. So it's actually the same exact fruit.
Oh, wow.
Just has no fuzz. It's just bald like me.
It's got a Brazilian.
Peaches are one of the healthiest foods on the planet, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. Loaded with vitamin C, B, and A, tons of potassium, phosphorus, calcium, and magnesium as well. They tell you if you could get a peach into your diet once a day, it would do you quite well. It's also good for your stomach digestion and your gut health as well.
Man, fruits.
Yeah.
They are very good for
Buddy,
you.
I just started mixing lots of fruit into my I just started it, actually kind of inspired by Jack's apple a day thing, because Jack usually brings in some grapes or an apple. Today it's strawberries.
Apples. Yeah, I had strawberries today.
But I'm a Fuji apple guy because I like the fact that it's not so sweet but nice and crisp, and they don't get mealy, which I hate. And I eat bananas and then peaches. I have peaches at the house now. In dream interpretation, eating a peach during a dream can signify a reunion with a lost friend.
Oh.
I never knew that.
Female.
August is National Peach Month. I don't know if you knew that. And then lastly here, on his second and third voyages to America, Christopher Columbus brought several peach trees to plant here in the States.
There you go.
There you go.
When did we start referring to it as ass?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
the emoji.
Yeah. We just been calling peach.
Because if you look at it.
Yeah, but I didn't ask why. I asked when.
Yeah, I don't know when.
Was it like Columbus? Was it like 16th century? You know,
I think
we're
Deb
like
answered your question.
Emoji.
Was it emoji?
Yeah. I just got the eggplant thing like just 2 weeks ago. I just figured that out. I told my dad, stop sending me that, dude. It's ridiculous. What's coming up for thoughts? That's still digesting.
There is something that I've always wanted to do, and maybe, in fact, I've actually done this once already years ago. For Ross Thoughts, I'm kind of giving you the extra droppings.
Okay. Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that a lot of times, whether I'm sober on my couch or sometimes I'm not sober on my couch, I always just write into my phone, and a lot of times it's absolute nonsense. And so, right, Jim? I'm sure you have some crazy ass phone notes.
You would not. I could get you to pay me money to read the notes on my phone right now. I'm telling you, they are pay worthy.
Well, guess what? I don't think mine are.
Oh, really?
So much so that I'm going to broadcast them on this radio station.
We'll have a battle, though.
I have grabbed about 10 or 12 some of the weirdest things I've ever put into my phone.
That's awesome. We'll do that next.
So we no longer have our blue check mark.
Actually, it was a white check mark surrounded by blue.
Don't be that guy.
Okay.
We're still at Real Radio 1041 on Twitter, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Looking at delays this afternoon on I-4 as you take the interstate both east and westbound between the Beach Line and 535 and between World Drive and Osceola Polk Line Road. Make sure you're driving with extra caution this afternoon as heavy rain is in the forecast for the next few hours. Looking at your normal slowdowns north and southbound on Florida's Turnpike. If you run into traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Petco Love Mega Adopt Florida.
Petco Love Florida Mega Pet Adoption Event is June 23rd through 25th. Join shelters and rescues across Florida to adopt 5,000 pets from one of the participating shelters or events across Florida. Get info at megaadoptflorida.com.
Everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at the Filatowski Eye Institute. Everybody knows your eyes are the window into your world. That's why if you deal with terrible eyesight, fuzzy eyesight, you're wearing glasses and contacts, you need to consider the Filatowski Eye Institute. These guys are a recognized leader in vision correction surgery. I trust them implicitly. My son and my father-in-law, I gladly recommended them, and all that they did was turn their lives completely around. Crystal clear vision virtually overnight. The surgery only takes a couple seconds. You don't feel anything, and your life changes. I'm telling you, my father-in-law walked around with his new vision like it was a toy, just reading stuff from afar just because he could. They've done 65,000 of these surgeries, which means they have the experience that you're looking for. And even better, they use the latest state-of-the-art LASIK tech, fast recovery times, most people back to work the very next day. You can start seeing the way you were actually meant to see. Don't put up with fuzzy vision anymore. No glasses or contacts. Just contact the Filatowski Eye Institute easily. Just text 1041 to 868686. That way you can schedule your consultation today. And these guys even offer 24-month interest-free financing to qualified patients. Again, it's so easy, guys. Schedule that consultation. Change your life. Just simply text 1041 to the number 868686. It's the Filatowski Eye Institute. These guys are the smart choice and the only choice for LASIK vision correction.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
It's Jeep 4x4 season. Now well-qualified returning FCA lessees get a low-mileage lease on select 2023 Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 models in dealer stock for $409 a month for 39 months with $2,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. On tag 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo models invoiced prior to 5/4/23 while dealer stock lasts. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease request for capital. Currently must end by 7/1/24. Extra charge for miles up to 32,500. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 7/5. Jeep is a registered trademark.
He strikes, he scores! Top right corner, Facundo Torres!
Orlando City returns home taking on the Philadelphia Union on Wednesday, June 21st at 7:30 p.m., presented by Heineken Silver. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app. It takes a beer served in 192 countries to truly appreciate the global game. Cheers your Heineken to your Orlando City Lions. Heineken, the official beer of Orlando City Soccer Club. Must be 21 and up to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
If you're a pro painter, do you know how much you're paying per gallon for paint? Paint stores try to convince you that you're getting a good deal with deep discounts. But what they don't tell you is their starting price is too high to begin with. If you buy paint from the Home Depot, you're getting the lowest price per gallon on Behr paint, guaranteed. We offer everyday low prices on every gallon of top-rated Behr paint.
You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
There's never been a better time to get that Rolex. Right now at IDC, you can get 5 years zero-interest financing on any pre-owned Rolex watch. A $10,000 Submariner comes to just $167 a month. All hard-to-find pre-owned Rolex models are included. Hundreds to choose from. Wear it today and spread your payments over 5 whole years without a dime in interest. A $12,000 Daytona is just $200 a month. Hurry, this extraordinary offer ends July 2nd. Only at International Diamond Center. Approved credit, 20% down payment required. See store for details.
This 0% finance offer at IDC is insane. People are driving for hours to do this. It's 5 years, zero interest financing. Whether you spend $3,000 or $30,000, you can spread your payments over 5 years with zero in interest. And this includes every diamond at IDC. All shapes, from 1 carat to 20 carats, GIA certified diamonds. Get the extreme value price IDC is known for a limited time. Enjoy 5 years, zero interest financing. Now through July 2nd at International Diamond Center.
For details, visit shopidc.com on approved credit.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Hello, Floridians. Today's a good day to do great things.
Yes!
Like scheduling the dentist appointment you've been putting off for 2 years.
Oh, man.
Like finally fixing that creaky door that drives you crazy. Like getting that massage you definitely deserve.
Oh, yeah.
Or taking time to make sure that your air conditioner is ready to beat the heat all summer long. Do something great today, right now, by booking your $159 AC rejuvenation at CoolToday.com.
Call today, cool today, CoolToday.com.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. If you don't know what web goals are, consider yourself lucky. If you feel like helping out, go to JimColbertLive.com and look at stuff.
Thing about the health screening that you guys were talking about earlier, I missed it. I caught the end of it. If you could just repeat that, that would be helpful. Thanks for the info. Peace.
Sure thing, buddy. Life Imaging FLA. And it's their office is right there on Orange Avenue. Yeah, that's it.
But pound 250, and you say
pound 250. Say the keyword
free heart scan.
That's it, free heart scan.
Yeah.
And then what that does is just automatically connect you, so you can make an appointment. When I was there getting mine, it was on the weekend, which is one of their slower times. And I walked out, and there were fans in the waiting room. We've had a lot of people contact me about this service. And here's what I can't wait to tell you guys. I know we'll get the thoughts here in a second. Is I had my doctor's appointment next week. When I called my doctor to make the appointment, I asked them, because I was curious. I endorsed this product. Do you guys think it's an advantage or a disadvantage when somebody brings in information from one of these scans? And the lady said, if you meet a doctor that wouldn't want more information, that is the biggest red flag I can imagine.
Find a new doctor.
Our doctors are more than willing to take that information, because it's just a CT scan, basically, but they just know what they're operating on and what they're focusing on. So, yeah, we're going to do that. And I really am interested to see how my primary care physician reacts to the information we got, and I can't wait to tell you about it, because really that's the entire goal of the service. So Life Imaging FLA, pound 250, say the keyword Life Imaging, and you'll be, or say the keyword free heart scan, and you'll be hooked up. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. Let's get some Ross thoughts.
It's
Sorry,
weird.
buddy.
It's funny.
Be proactive.
Sometimes
You actually that
Ross.
That line I put in the
Spelled
spot.
like
It made such an impact on me. Yeah, don't be reactive. Be proactive. That way, get this stuff knocked out before it becomes a problem.
Absolutely, before it's too late. Ross Thoughts is brought to you by Persimmon Hollow Brewing Company. They make great beer. It's hot out. Just drink some blood orange wheat and get back to me and tell me how that treated you. Answer, great.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing for Ross Thoughts today. So I was going through my phone, and my phone right now, because of Ross Thoughts, has several thousand pages of notes. Obviously, they're not, you can't really fill up an individual note on a computer.
Yeah.
But still, there are a lot of Ross Thoughts that we've done.
A lot of them.
And then there's also some of them, of course, that have done better than others. And we're going to find out where this one sits along the rankings. But I get to a certain note, and I realize that, man, in this one note, I would just like either I was messed up or something. I would just always go to this note, and I would always put in weird, random observations, thoughts, questions, mainly questions. In fact, I reworded some of the thoughts that I put down into my phone into questions because I'm also questioning why I wrote these.
Okay.
I know I'm not alone.
I hate that. You go to the effort to make the note, but it's not enough information to remind you why you made that note.
Right.
If you were to look into my joke book, right, just one random page, there's one page that says cabbage pants. I don't know, man.
You don't know that. You don't even know where it came from.
No idea. I don't know where I was getting at. And here's the weirdest thing. It's in the center of the page. Left page cabbage, right page pants.
And that could have been a joke idea that you thought, well, I'll just remember that. If I write cabbage pants, it'll just come right back to me.
No way I'm going to forget this.
Yeah, I guess what happened.
This is a banger.
Yeah. Something's...
I'm going to take up the whole page with this.
I think the critics might be onto something with the whole short-term memory thing. I'm just going to throw that out there. All right? I wake up every morning thinking my name is Ron. It's odd.
Yeah.
So I have some of these questions. Would you guys like to hear them?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, of course.
They're a little. This is truly, literally Ross Thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the thoughts of my brain. Why does celery always come with chicken wings? Don't lie to me. That's not enough fiber. How? I say how. How is it still allowed to go on house tours when the person is still in their house? It's uncomfortable.
It is hot. I learned that was a faux pas the hard way.
Did affliction t-shirts become the people's affliction? What's up with chives? Seriously.
The reason I laughed so hard is because I know that you seriously asked yourself that question and thought it to be so important you wrote it down. That's the entire thought.
And I'm assuming my thought was, like, now when I look at chives, I'm like, yeah, they are weird. They're odd. They're on top.
Of only a few things, though.
Of a few things.
If you're not having a baked potato, you're not going to have a chive.
They go by
it
like...
gives it nice color, though.
Yeah. Is it just a color thing?
No, it's a little oniony.
It's a little onion. They're just going to put onion on it.
It's a mild onion.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Just a hint of onion.
Has someone ever accidentally flirted by licking their fingers after eating Cheetos?
You make eye contact while doing that, that can be very sultry. That's a bad... You really have to look down. Because if you scan the room while you're licking your fingers, that is a bad look.
Not the activity to do in a ball pit.
No. Come on. Come on.
This one... Is the word flattered super underrated? Is it funny? Flattered has the word flat in it, which can be a bad thing, but it's also got the word turd in it. And that's kind of a good thing. How weird are hooves? Like, seriously. What's going on with hooves? Can blind people read Legos? And depending on the Lego, is it being screamed or is it being whispered?
That's a good joke.
Are car washes the first robots we humans have ever been inside of?
Ooh.
I had to have been so high for that.
Oh my God,
I
man.
had to have been so
No.
tasered. Is it okay to get slightly emotional when my Roomba bumps into my broom? It's a heavy moment.
Yeah, that is a heavy
It's
moment.
a heavy moment. It's
Yeah,
like, man, this
somebody's
is
got some explaining to do.
very 2023 when your automatic robot vacuum bumps into the old,
The analog version.
the analog version, the one with the broken hip that's leaning off to the side because it's born that way.
Right. Basically there to kill roaches.
This is a legit one.
Okay.
Why is it called belly button when the majority of belly buttons are concave? How did the Audi belly button name that leans towards the minority of belly button people?
So, yeah, I agree with you. So the Audi should be the actual belly button, and the innie should be the weird one.
Why is it belly button?
I don't know.
It's not a button. It's a hole.
Yeah, I
it's
gotcha.
a cavity.
I
So
gotcha.
which is why I would like to rename it to belly cavity.
Okay, that's
No, too weird. Belly dimple.
that's adorable.
Belly canal.
Nope.
Belly hole?
No.
Moving on.
Can't say the word hole.
Am I the only person who hears about circadian rhythm and think about cicadas?
No, that's pretty common. Actually, I thought that was the reason they said it for a long time. That's how
'cause you hear
dumb
'em
I
at
am.
night.
Yeah.
And this is how long ago I had to go into my phone for this one. This is years old. I ended up spending hundreds of dollars to bring this idea to visual media. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. How bad did someone mess up the vowels with the whole sometimes why thing? A cornerstone of our English language rides on a maybe? Who decided that? And I know one thing that isn't a question, and that is my last thought right here. Why aren't you drinking more Persimmon Hollow beer?
Word.
I'm here to tell you, it's hot out. Blood orange wheat during the day, Southbound Hiker New England IPA at night, which, by the way, they just started selling in cans. Run, do not walk for that beer. I love that beer. Andy and Robbie, I also love those guys. They are the minds behind Persimmon Hollow beer. Support local. They have five locations all throughout Central Florida, providing passionate beer for all of Central Florida. Visit Persimmon Hollow today so you can enjoy passionately crafted beers like I have been now for quite some time. Enjoy Persimmon Hollow beer. You're not going to regret it. Drink sensibly, but get weird. And visit them at phbeer.com to get that blood orange wheat and that Southbound Hiker. Those are your Ross thoughts. We took it literally today. I'm out. Peace.
All right, buddy. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show. Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
Looking at delays this afternoon on I-4 as you take the interstate both east and westbound between the Beach Line and 535 and between World Drive and Osceola Polk Line Road. Make sure you're driving with extra caution this afternoon as heavy rain is in the forecast for the next few hours. Looking at your normal slowdowns north and southbound on Florida's Turnpike. If you run into traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Welcome back. Dave and Herb here, and we're talking fresh.
Fresh from Florida, that is.
There's tomatoes, broccoli, watermelon.
You're just putting fra in front of produce.
As in fresh from Florida.
You don't need to make up words. Friends, visit followfreshfromflorida.com to see what's in season.
From the Florida Department of Agriculture.
It is a fact when it comes to your health, early detection saves lives. We just got through talking about my friends over at Life Imaging FLA, and that is exactly what they do. When it comes to your long-term health care, you want the most information possible. These guys can do it for you with Life Imaging FLA. There's no guessing game. Hard data in real time so that you can create a healthcare plan that's proactive, not reactive. That's a big deal. And with my full body scan from Life Imaging FLA, I know some things now. Kenny's got a couple of issues, diverticulitis, and some prostate issues I need to pay attention to. But the cool thing is, I don't freak out about it. This allows me to form a healthcare plan with my primary care physician to attack these issues head on. Do what I did. Call these guys at Life Imaging FLA right now and get that free heart scan. A few minimum requirements, and that's a $699 value while you're there. Ask about their cancer screenings as well. And it's easy, guys. Just pick up your cell phone and dial pound 250, keyword free heart scan. That's pound 250. Just say the keyword free heart scan and they'll connect you in seconds. Don't wait another second. Make that very important appointment today. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Get your tickets now
at AXS.com
for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Coming back to Las Vegas.
2 nights.
September 22nd and 23rd.
1 stage.
At T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live. Only on Hulu.
This is the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Buy your tickets for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival now.
Before they sell out.
At AXS.com.
That's AXS.com.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Did you miss the open enrollment for health insurance? Did you enroll into a high-deductible limited network marketplace plan? It's not too late. You can still change your plan at any time. The folks at USA BG's Freedom of Choice plan are available now. This plan puts most of your coverage up front, where you only meet a deductible if you go into a hospital. You pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower than Obamacare. With USA BG's Freedom of Choice plan, the monthly premiums are not tied to your income, so there are no surprises at tax time. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employment coverage is just too expensive. Call USA BG today at 321-380-4540. That's 321-380-4540. Or go to usabgflorida.com. That's usabgflorida.com. USA BG's Freedom of Choice plan. They can customize a plan managed by you, not the government.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day to do great things. Yes! Like scheduling the dentist appointment you've been putting off for 2 years.
Oh, man.
Like finally fixing that creaky door that drives you crazy. Like getting that massage you definitely deserve.
Oh, yeah.
Or taking time to make sure that your air conditioner is ready to beat the heat all summer long. Do something great today, right now, by booking your $159 AC rejuvenation at CoolToday.com.
Call today, cool today, CoolToday.com.
Pyrospot Fireworks is your local source for the best specials with Florida's largest selection of buy one, get two free fireworks. With convenient locations in Longwood and Eustis, better fireworks, better prices, and a no-dud guarantee. Visit Pyrospot online for more information at iwantfireworks.com.
Applebee's daily deals for $9.99 and under. There's a deal every day for everyone. Just $9.99 and under. That's all day, every day. Get into your local Applebee's now. Daily deals are dine-in only in limited locations listed on nrpneighborhood.com. Limited time only while supplies last. Participation varies.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. And I do that all the time. I'll go back through my notes and look at the stuff I've just written down, like just ideas, because I am one day going to do a little stand-up. I don't do things quickly. I'll talk about them for a while and kind of talk myself into it. And I know it's been going on for a while now. But I probably have enough stuff on my phone right now to have at least 5 minutes of what I would say would be pretty good.
Well, just don't write cabbage pants. And
No, I'm not going to write cabbage pants.
Remember it.
I write the stuff and it's embarrassing, but I do the same thing you do. I think probably everybody does that, right? You'll make a note in your phone. You're like, oh, I'll remember that. I'll just write a couple words down because you're quick, and you want to get something down real quick, and then you look at it and you're like, what in the F? What is that even?
I asked you earlier on the show, would you hibernate? That was one of those notes.
I was looking at one I had here. Most of my notes are like things I need to pick up. Just I need to remember to get. But some of them are just like, some of them are stuff.
It's funny. I don't know about funny, but it was helpful because Ross, I forget the context of it where you brought up. Maybe it was a Ross thoughts of using the.
Oh my God! It changed my life.
The reminder feature,
yeah.
And I've used it in the past, but since I made it a larger, what do you call that?
It's a widget.
A widget. That's it. And I was driving today and just. Hit this remind me at like 1:30 to do this when I get. So I think of things I need to do when I get to work, but you get here, then you start dealing with stuff, you forget about it. But reminder pops up on my phone. Hey, edit this. I'm like, thank you.
It doesn't matter of learning how to use it and just making it a habit.
And if you have Siri set up on your phone, you can just speak to your phone and have it do it.
And then it pops up on your home screen instead of like a push reminder that you might be able to cancel or just like kind of ignore.
Yeah.
It is right there staring at you, a previous you made choice, reminding you in the present, hey, you wanted to do this, remember? And it's right there, and it's so hard to ignore.
Yeah, Jack, you use that more than anybody I know.
So, and for me, I kind of get like anxious. I'll wake up or in the middle of the night, start thinking things I have to do. It's like, I have to do this. And then when that list starts to grow, then it's like, I'm not going to remember all this.
Right.
Now I can't go to sleep because I have all these things I'm trying to remember. So it's just an easier way to kind of, once I can put that somewhere where I know I'm going to see it later, then I can just let it go. Yeah, I've got problems. I've got problems. I recognize that.
Well, it's interesting for me though. It's a necessity thing because it takes me so long to get into town. Like it's a 20-minute drive for me to get to where there are stores. So if I forget something, it's a 40-minute round trip, not counting the time in the store. So just to save time, I've learned to, before I leave the house, I'm like, oh, do I need groceries? Do I need something from the hardware store? Do I need something from, maybe Target or something like that? And then I try to get it all done at one time and not forget it because time is so valuable. And, if you make a mistake, you got to go back. And God almighty, who wants to do that?
I don't see myself living in a house that it can be far away from a highway, but like I know some houses that's like 15 minutes of neighborhood driving.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
I'm telling you,
not doing that.
Some of those neighborhoods in Oviedo, you go into them and you are in a labyrinth. I mean, a labyrinth of dead ends and circles that circle back around. And you know what you're doing? It's like Chevy Chase and Big Ben. There's Big Ben.
I mean, that's 15 minutes in and out of your neighborhood. That's 30 minutes a day. And that's not that's just getting out.
Right.
To, for just proximity of a store.
That's how it would have been for Deb until Lake County surrounded her. Until they started building stuff and it was, became easy because, before they put the Publix out there on 441, before they put a lot of stuff up there, you would have had to drive to frickin' Eustis or something, right? To get in, or...
Not really, and that's been in place for a while. I mean, we have 2 Publixes to choose from, but yeah, I'm a convenience. I don't want to drive 40 minutes just to get to the grocery store.
I remember driving back through Mount Dora, and I was going back and forth to Palatka to visit my family. I would go down 441 and then cut through the forest because it was just a much better drive and a more fun drive. And I would remember, like, man, Mount Dora would be a great place to live, but damn. Back then, there was nothing out there. I mean,
right.
if the little shops in town didn't have it, again, you're always all the way down 441, either to Eustis or all the way to Apopka.
But just like the growth we're seeing everywhere, right? Lakeland, Groveland.
Jim's kidneys.
Yeah, you can watch
his liver.
I mean, we're getting
those age spots.
An Outback Steakhouse.
Wow, really?
In a Culver's.
Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you.
The thing is that sounds great, but you know what comes with that? People to eat at those places.
That's why it's out on 441.
Yeah.
And I thought about Mount Dora today. I went to New Smyrna Beach. And I was driving through that little community. I've been to the beach there before, but never. And I went to Crimson House for the Monsters broadcast, but driving through the community and talking to the people who live there. And by the way, huge fans of the station.
Yeah.
So many people, big fans of all the shows on Real Radio. And but they just love it. It's like another one of those communities where it's like, okay, we know the people come in, use the beach, and leave, but, this is our spot, and they cherish it.
Yeah. When I first moved to Orlando in 85, I worked at a gas station as a part-time job as I was going to college. It was on Hiawassee and Highway 50. So it was out in Pine Hills. It was the far west side of Pine Hills. And I remember specifically a guy coming through. He did not live here. He was just traveling through. And he said, as a joke, he said, where's the land I can build a big old house on? Because I was just painting the curbs at the time, and he was making small talk while loading up his Cadillac with gas. And I said, well, buddy, you should go west toward Ocoee. There's nothing on either side of those roads except dead orange groves for miles. And, of course, you fast forward just 15 years after that, and every square inch of that road from Hiawassee Road all the way to Ocoee turned into restaurants and malls and everything. And that happened in no time. What do you think the fastest growing part of town is right now? Is it like Winter Garden?
I hope it's my part of Orlando.
Yeah. It's got to be like Winter Garden, like where they're building the most and have the most like a construction going on.
Well, by you, Jimmy, I one of those roads. I take the back roads to New Smyrna today, and I saw just developments, clearings.
That new Publix they're building there on that corner in Lake Mary Boulevard and 415.
Yeah, they don't put Publixes in the middle of nowhere.
Well, and this is what I tell everybody around us, because we have to fight those developers off because they want to get out there and take care of that they want that reservation, that preserve land. And, people in Seminole County and Geneva and Oviedo have been fighting that for years. And I told everybody when that thing moved there, I said, listen, Publix doesn't build something because they have land. They're building something because they've done a market study and a survey of this entire area to what's coming there. They're not building it for what's there now. They're building it there because they know what's going to be there. It's the same thing when they built that one over in Maitland, that Publix there. You're like, well, they're not building it there for a reason because it's hard to get in, it's hard to get out, but they know something we don't. Sure enough, almost said the F word there. 5 massive apartment complexes on 1792 alone, from Winter Park over to Castleberry. 5 massive. So when you see a Publix going up in your neighborhood, get ready because the development is right behind it. They know it and you don't. And that's exactly, when you see those things, I'm happy because you know it's good, but in that same sense, you know that the massive development is coming.
There's going to be a consequence. I'm going to go with Kissimmee. Every time I'm around Kissimmee, man, just apartments on top of apartments.
Yeah, in Lake Mary, they're doing that too because a lot of land sat kind of idle out there off of I-4 in Lake Mary on the right side. In other words, on the Seminole County side, well, it's all Seminole County, but on the right side, which would be the east side of I-4. On the west side, it was already developed. You had Heathrow, Alaqua, those really nice neighborhoods. Longwood up there was very beautiful, but that other side was kind of more, it was older, and it was bigger, like estate homes back in there, and a lot of equestrian stuff back in that area in Lake Mary. That's gone now, too. Apartment complex, matter of fact, the one my daughter lives in right now came out of nowhere, and now it's just a massive complex out there. Hell, the one they just built right here in Maitland.
And shout out to apartment complex names just going so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come to Trelago.
Oh, yeah. Please tell me.
Come to Trelago.
So you can share a pool with 45
Right.
other people.
Do you want to live in ecstasy at Maitland Park?
Yeah, I swear, some of these apartment complexes sound like men razors. Excalibur.
How would you like to pay $455 a square foot to live next to somebody who's also spending $450 a square foot? You want access to the barbecue? We can get you in November, maybe.
A lot of luxury, that's the word, luxury apartments.
Yeah. You know what the big thing is in apartments now? My daughter lived in a couple years back. They have a coffee station and like a little cafe area that's complimentary.
Oh.
So in the mornings you go into the clubhouse where the offices and the gym is, and they have like a juice machine and some
cucumber water.
Yeah, something like that, plus other little stuff that you can just grab and go.
I love some kook water.
And you wouldn't believe how effective that is. Like, sure, I'll sign that $2,100 a month lease. I mean, I get a donut once every 3 weeks. Is that what? Yeah, that sounds good.
That's gonna save me like $6 a month.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Oh, in my neighborhood, have your power bills gone up?
Yeah, mine has, but I don't know if it's because of some lobbyist or my brother moved in.
Well, Jack, is yours impervious to going up?
No, I still have a bill. It's just a lower bill. My solar is producing roughly half, maybe a little 60% of my energy usage. So my bill last month was like, I think $72, maybe 80.
Yeah.
Around there the past couple months.
Deb, have you seen yours go up at all?
A little bit.
So what hit our neighborhood? There's somebody put up a Facebook post and said that, and I don't know if this is true or not, I haven't done any research on it, that the time that they hold on, how do I even phrase this? Because I don't want to sound dumb.
A riddle to cross a bridge.
No, it's basically one of those things where as they build the infrastructure for the new power systems, that money has to come from somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
A couple billion, $1.3 billion or something. And what happens is that gets put back into your power bill as they put new power poles up, run new power lines, maybe raise the lines or sink them because of weather or whatever the case may be, that you pay for that. I guess the first wave that hit my neighborhood this week.
Oh, okay, yeah. The power companies, that's how they finance it. And behind rate increases, this is for future improvements.
Right.
Well, and aren't you on your own separate thing?
No. What do you mean? Our water is.
Oh, just your water, not your power.
Yeah, we have our own water processing plant in the neighborhood, but the power, I think, just comes like everybody else.
Yeah.
So they're gonna pay for that $1.3 billion through us, and I'm assuming none of their profits will touch that massive improvement.
I'm sure it's subsidized. I mean, I'm sure it's a percentage that they have skin in the game as well. But I mean, they do pass that on. And then somebody, Jack, I don't know if you've heard about this either. Somebody in the neighborhood put up a post saying that if power companies, maybe loss of income through usage, and they make that back up. But I didn't really kind of understand that, because I guess they were trying to say maybe through the hurricane or through the pandemic.
Well, no, through the hurricanes, because we've done several of the stories during Woke News about them going before the Public Service Commission and saying, we need to make this money up for all the stuff we had to do after Ian and Nicole.
That's right. In other words, it's still the infrastructure thing. In other words, rebuilding the power systems has to come from somewhere.
And then if you add in fuel costs, then that's another reason why utilities are also going up.
Because I mean, that's completely fair that we subsidize that for them, considering what we have to do with our homeowners insurance.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Hey, I'm just trying to get into that secret bar in Tallahassee.
You better be tapping some of them profits for that $1.3 billion, not just on us.
And I think that is a Florida Power and Light bar that they have.
Yeah, I think that is.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think FPL is who we have out there.
Exactly.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know any other business that can do that. I mean, I know that the food companies during the pandemic kind of did that whole the shrinkflation thing, where they were just basically giving you less for the same amount of money to try to make up the money they lost during the pandemic. I don't know if that still goes on anymore.
But you know what you could do? If you didn't like that product, you could go to a different store.
Yeah.
And find a different deal.
Can't do that with the power company,
Power
can you?
companies, they got it.
Yeah.
They got it going on.
Yeah. It works out swimmingly for them, doesn't it?
I kind of like the whole shrinkflation days, you know? Remember when you'd go to the store and get a bag of chip?
That's the thing that people measure that by more than anything, isn't
Always,
it? It's always
always.
potato chips. They're like the worst thing for you, and they're mad they're not getting enough.
Yeah.
What? How dare you charge me $1.79 for chips to only give me 10?
Yeah, close to zero nutritional value, but man, voodoo chips hit.
Oh, yeah, they do hit a little hard.
They're so
Is that your
good.
favorite?
Up there, yeah. But kettle cooked, salt and vinegar, jalapeno.
That's the one, man.
Let's
Is it
go,
Mrs.
man.
Vicky's?
These are all baked, right?
No, get out of here.
Nah.
Shut up.
If I'm going chips, I'm going dirty. I'm going to be a dirty girl.
You don't eat baked chips, Jack.
If I have potato chips, I prefer them baked. I just need the crunch.
You prefer them baked?
Well,
Nerd.
They're just it's like Pringles, right?
I'm
It's
trying
not-
to make good choices.
It's just a mash of potato. It's not even a chip, really.
I love Pringles. I don't have a problem with that.
Pringles aren't. Well, here's the thing. I can't say Pringles are bad. What's your favorite chip, Deborah?
Damn. You picked that up too?
The energy.
Sweet Jesus,
What's
man.
your favorite chip, Deborah?
But the thing is, because here's the thing: when you get your lunch, you never eat the potato chips. We have a drawer over there.
Oh.
Oh, because I'm too full now.
Yeah, I got you.
Why
do
don't
you have a favorite though?
Lay's potato chips if I'm eating them plain, Ruffles if I'm having French onion dip, and Doritos goes with everything.
Yeah, that's a good
Old
man.
school
That's
regular nacho
that's
Doritos.
That's a triad, isn't it?
Although those Thai chili ones,
The Thai chili, the purple bag, they're good too.
those
I
are
don't want
good.
too sweet.
No.
It's too
after,
sweet.
Yeah, after a few, it can be like, yeah, the sweet's overruling the spice.
Am I crazy, or is it a joke? Or are they actually making a movie about flaming hot Doritos?
Yeah,
no,
no.
Cheetos.
She's at flaming hot Cheetos.
How about this? I think they're talking about just the seasoning of flaming hot.
Yeah, well, it turns out it was like Eva Longoria, of course, is the director and I believe the producer behind the movie. And apparently it was a low-level worker for the company.
He was he just delivered and stocked shelves.
Okay, yeah. And he came up with the idea for the spices. I believe he's Mexican. And he called the CEO of the company, and the guy actually took his call. And apparently he showed up and had samples of what he was thinking of doing. And the guy was like, great idea. It's now... You have flamin' hot apparel. You have, it spawned an industry in and of itself. It hit hard.
Yeah, I saw the movie.
It's a
and I
fascinating story.
I thought it was a goof. I did. I thought it was a goof. I saw the story. I was like, oh, this is a
That's
funny.
what I thought too. I'm like, why are they doing a movie about flaming hot Cheetos?
Yeah.
What is the deal? And then when I saw an interview with Eva Longoria and with the two actors who play the couple behind the recipe, behind the idea, it was like, damn, man, that's the American dream right there.
Yeah, you bet your ass it is. Let me tell you, I can't buy Cheetos. I have no power over them.
Really?
No power over Cheetos. You haven't seen me eat a Cheeto in a long time because, buddy, let me tell you, if I crack a family-sized bag of Cheetos, that family-sized bag of Cheetos is going to lose.
Just a gym size?
It is going to lose dramatically. That's like one of the few things I can open a bag up and eat the entire thing.
Wow.
Well, what's your thing against Pringles, though?
It doesn't have the same body of a chip. As a kid, I loved them because it was unique, because they all look the same. You get some tennis balls with it. But
unique because they all look the same.
Yeah,
all right.
well, I know that doesn't make any sense, but it's unique because
pressed.
other chips don't. So they're the only chip that looked exactly the same, chip by chip.
But you consider them a chip.
It's not a chip.
So you think it's a crisp identifying as a chip?
It is a crisp, and you're right. It is a crisp identifying as a chip.
This might be deeper than all of us.
It's not deeper than all of us. It's just
this might be
It's a potato product. They turn it into a meal and then put it on a form, and then
it could be that, or you're from Palatka.
Yeah.
And things are getting a little spicy.
I do like the Ruffles, but I can only take so many of those. My favorite all-time go-to is probably just Lay's, sour cream and onion.
Okay, see, and I'll do a regular plain Lay's, but Ruffles I'll only do if I have a good French onion dip, and it can't be one of those Frito-Lay jars. It's gotta be real.
You gotta make it yourself because you can't get it out of the jar. Who wants it out of the jar?
No, not out of a jar, but there's a brand out there.
Oh, the cold case.
Yes.
Yeah, in the cold case, that's a good one. I know exactly what you're talking
That's
about.
the one I'm talking about.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those kettle cooked things. Sometimes when you bite down and there's like a inception chip, you know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
It's like a tiramisu of fried potato chipness.
Yeah.
Oh, what a surprise. Triple the crunch. And now my gums are bleeding.
Yeah, and
That's why I don't like those.
And some of those kettles, just when they fold into multiple levels, is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I love.
It's like when you go to Tijuana Flats and they bring you the chips out, and they're just loaded with that chip stuff, and there's like 4 or 5 of them fried together like a. I don't even know how to say it. Was just it's like a multi-layer.
It's so good. Tiramisu chip. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So good.
Every time I see one, I'm like, oh, man, there is a God.
Dude, I went through a phase when I would wreck an entire bag of Doritos and bean dip. Do you remember bean dip?
Do you want to talk about it?
No, dude. I think they still have it. It came in a can.
Yeah, no, you still have it.
Like when you get cashews, they have that little thing you peel open.
Was this when you were living alone?
We're not debating whether or not Jim's over here thinking that we are disagreeing with the existence of bean dip.
No,
we're disagreeing with that choice.
I mean, ripping it through the lawn chair in that single-man apartment of yours.
Man, it was so good. Just put a little bit of sour cream and hot sauce on top of that. That is a party dog.
I just wrote the overview for the podcast of today's show, which really symbolizes what that 620 segment is all about. We start a topic on rising energy prices, but end up discussing our preferred snack choices.
Don't forget, put in the bean dip. Put in the description that we all got freaked out by Jim's bean dip.
High power bill, bean dip. All right, 407-916-1041. Load them up for last call, and we'll get out of here. All lines are open, 5 lines ready for you. A call back, a joke, anything fun. That's 407-916-1041. We'll do that next and get out of here on a Wednesday.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
Did you know in certain countries, for one in the Netherlands, if you are disabled, they give you a budget to hire prostitutes to have sex with you if you're a disabled person.
Do you have to be a citizen?
You're asking for a friend?
The News Junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast, and it is going to be a stormy one. We'll see rounds of rain over the next couple of days, one late tonight, then another one tomorrow afternoon. Our overnight low 73, high tomorrow 91. It'll be humid. Our rain chance at 70%. Friday will be a carbon copy, and Saturday the same weather both days. It won't be until next week when things finally start to dry out. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Heron Home and Outdoor.
At Heron Home and Outdoor, we pride ourselves on providing thick, healthy, weed-free lawns. Keeping the grass on your lawn green and your shrubs and trees in tip-top shape is our specialty. Visit myheronhome.com today for a free quote and money-saving offers. Heron Home and Outdoor, your local lawn and pest experts.
Let's get you a new bathroom, man. Rebath of Mid-Florida can do that for you. And here's the thing. I say it so quickly. Everybody's like, oh, man, yeah, sure. It's easy to just say, let's get a new bathroom. It is. I mean, these guys make it as easy as it could possibly be. Because here's the one thing I do know for a fact. When people start talking about this and you start sharing it, hey, I want to get a new bathroom. I think I'm going to get a new bathroom with friends and family. There's nobody that says, oh, yeah, that's a great decision. It's going to go easily. Contractors are so perfectly honest all the time. They're not going to say that. It's going to be just like one thing after another. Don't do it. It's going to cost you a fortune. It's going to take forever. You got to wait. Don't wait. You don't have to. Rebath of Mid-Florida can get you that bathroom of your dreams. They can do it in a timely manner, and they can give you great quality products and incredible design ideas as well, because this is all they do. Dave Denbauer and his son Josh been up there in Altamont Springs doing this for years. Never received a complaint about this company at all once. As a matter of fact, it's the exact opposite. Daryl Payne from Paw Affection Dog Training, in here a little bit earlier today, came in and showed me his 2 bathrooms he got from Rebath, and he was glowing. You couldn't believe how proud he was. It changed his entire house. They can do that for you because all they do is bathrooms, and they have everything. You don't have to worry about it. Once you hire these guys, you're done. Their products, your ideas, their design team. Next thing you know, you have a beautiful bathroom you're going to love for years, and you can actually see kind of what it's going to look like. Go to the showroom, 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. Go in, look at those models, and think, man, I'd like some of that, and then maybe some of that. You put it together with their design team. Next thing you know, you have a beautiful bathroom, like I said, that's going to last for years. Hop on board, check out the before and afters, and then book your appointment. Your new bathroom is right there in Altamont at rebathmidfla.com.
He strikes, he scores! Top right corner, Facundo Torres!
Orlando City returns home, taking on the Philadelphia Union on Wednesday, June 21st at 7:30 p.m., presented by Heineken Silver. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app. It takes a beer served in 192 countries to truly appreciate the global game. Cheers your Heineken to your Orlando City Lions. Heineken, the official beer of Orlando City Soccer Club. Must be 21 and up to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season and available in the produce section right now. Whoa, hey, careful now. There's plenty of juicy watermelon and other tasty Florida-grown produce for everyone. I mean, all you have to do is ask for Fresh from Florida or look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
Don't let earache from swimmer's ear, clogged ears, or allergies ruin your day. Get fast, effective relief from the pain and itching with Hyland's Earache Drops, the #1 best-selling earache treatment for over 10 years. See why it's received thousands of 5-star reviews and was awarded Best Over-the-Counter Medicine and Health Product in Earache Relief by U.S. News and World Report. Find Hyland's Earache Drops in the eye and ear aisle at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
Not a lot of things last an entire lifetime, but at Sutherland Nissan Orlando, your lifetime vehicle warranty does. Get our exclusive nationwide lifetime warranty with unlimited miles and unlimited time at no additional cost. Only at Sutherland Nissan Orlando, OrlandoNissan.com.
Live your 4th of July with Sky King Fireworks. Sky King Fireworks in Cocoa on 520 and in Melbourne on 192 has buy one, get one on all fireworks with the largest selection of buy one, get two. Sky King Fireworks has the largest selection of the loudest, biggest, brightest, and safest fireworks with a no-dud guarantee. Sky King Fireworks has buy one, get one on all fireworks in the store and the largest selection of buy one, get twos. Nobody beats the king. For easy directions, visit SkyKingFireworks.com.
Unexpected expenses don't exactly come with an installment plan.
What if they could? An AmScott installment cash advance from $100 to $1,000 could mean more money and more time to pay it back. AmScott, some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Super Start battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hear the latest news from the headlines on your phone. Download the free iHeartRadio app for exclusive live coverage of breaking news. From what's happening where you live to what's happening across the country. Live from the center of the story. Listen for free anywhere, anytime. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
On the Born to Love podcast, join Ellie Kemper from The Office and comedian Scott Eckert as they speak with celebrity guests about their lifelong passions. From hobbies and cities to holidays, movies, and more.
Love it or load it. Foam rollers.
Love it.
Yes!
Get in there. Release that lower back.
I told you, Scott, you can do it on any body part.
I believed
Quads,
you.
Lower back, neck.
Listen to Born to Love with Ellie Kemper and Scott Eckert on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Did you guys know the average person eats 9 spiders whenever I cook for them?
From his multiple Netflix comedy specials, Anthony Jeselnik brings his new stand-up tour, Bones and All, inside Hard Rock Event Center at Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa. Don't miss Anthony Jeselnik, live on November 19th. Tickets are on sale now at hardrocktampa.com and anthonyjeselnik.com. Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa.
Sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword free heart scan.
Are you offended yet? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
On it, baby, on it. All right, welcome back to The Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. We are full for last call. Deb just read a story, like, ironically, we can hit some stuff sometimes. I guess you just got a news release from the U.S. Postal Service?
Yeah, this is actually from CBS News, but we were talking earlier about how check fraud is on the increase, right? We talked about the 2 pens that you should only write your checks with because they can't be washed.
Right.
Well, this just in, the U.S. Postal Service is warning users against sending checks through the mail.
Crazy.
So, I mean, think about, those like mortgage payments or, there are instances, so that's when certified mail might be the way to go.
Yeah,
Well,
and
it's also time for Grandpa Harold to learn how to Venmo.
Oh, man. If you ever want to know who's going to write a check at the grocery store, just follow me to the register.
Oh, no.
Because I inevitably, I get behind that old lady who's reaching into her wallet, grabbing her checkbook, and I'm like, are you kidding? Could you just tell me before I unload my entire buggy onto the thing, please? Just please let me know.
I've got one better for you than that. Last night after work, stopping at, I'll say it, 7-Eleven to get gas and stuff. Lady ahead of me waiting, the lady ahead of her paying pennies.
Oh, no. Nope.
Did you guys...
I've actually paid for somebody's stuff once when they did that.
And listen...
I said, just put that on me. Let's go.
And I have... There's no shame in paying with pennies, right? We've all been there at some point in your life. But...
Oh, Jim definitely has shame.
He's judging you.
If the clerk moved any slower, she'd have ended up with fungus on her back like a sloth.
I paid for a cruise with quarters once. Can I tell you? We were so broke the very first Monster cruise. We brought like 400 people on that thing. I was actually kind of name famous at that time, just in Orlando here, no big deal. But I did not have enough money to go on the cruise. I had to roll quarters to pay to go on a cruise that people paid on to go with me.
See?
That's how crazy it is.
Been there, right?
Isn't that nuts?
So I had no shame for the lady who had to pay in pennies. That is still legal tender. But come on, clerk. Move your ass.
That's one thing Canada has definitely got us beat. They don't have pennies.
Yeah,
they were like, yeah, that's stupid.
They nuked those.
Yeah. They just round.
Yeah, they started they have a 2-cent piece or a nickel?
No, I think it's nickel.
Yeah, it's a
I
nickel.
think that's their lowest denomination for money.
All right, 407-916-1041. Deb, who do we have to thank today, dear?
Well, we want to thank Daryl Payne of Pawfection Dog Training. If you missed Animal House today, I'll be posting the Animal House podcast later on tonight. Orlando Sentinel columnist Scott Maxwell returning from vacation. And last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running our YouTube chat.
Absolutely. Tomorrow we'll have Danny Meyering for Date Night Done Right. And, of course, we'll have Glenn Klausman for Colbert Report. Jack, question of the day?
We do. Do you write more than 5 personal checks a year?
Oh, man, you can never tell with these people. Is it yes or no?
Yes, that is correct.
I would say 65% say no.
Pretty good. Because on Twitter and Facebook, it was 55% no and 78% no on the YouTube chat. So
average out?
You're pretty close there.
That's not bad, man. I'm with Ross. You got to look. Even my old ass has embraced the Venmo Cash App scenario.
Not to mention your digital wallet on your phone.
Oh yeah, I'm a player now.
Oh, it's great.
What a time to be alive.
Watch that savings account grow.
Stand up.
Yes. Next month, 14th, 15th, I'm going to be out in New Smyrna at Madcaps Comedy Club. I love New Smyrna because New Smyrna kind of likes me.
They do. They love you. Get your tickets early, or guess what? You'll be SOL.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Ross Padgett Comedy on all social media platforms. Follow him now. Brad, last call.
Guys, I love the product you guys advertise on 104.1. I called this one. It was called Organ and Organ. Anyway, the first time I called, I think I got a number wrong because some lawyer picked up. Yeah. Anyway, I managed to get a new organ for the church. I managed to get my sister a new kidney. She's doing great.
Very good, buddy.
God
bless you. Good joke, buddy. Good job. Uncle Tony, last call.
Hey, I was driving home the other day. I noticed a neighbor has a sign in the yard that said, "Drive like your kids live here." So you know what I did? Did a U-turn and got the hell out of there.
Thanks, Larry. Mike, last call.
Hey, I wanted to tell you, the ultimate chip dip combo is Ruffles, really salty, with some half-melted chocolate ice cream.
Really?
Best in the world.
You know what?
Ooh, that sounds good.
I know people who dip ice cream or chips into ice cream.
Oh, yeah, savory and sweet.
Oh.
It's the same thing with the Wendy's Frosty and the French fries.
Oh, my wife does the fries and the Frosty. That's a little too much. Mustard on eggs.
Oh.
Party mom, last call.
So those people that are in the submersible in the North Atlantic?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this time they are sinking to an all-time low.
Oh, too soon, party girl, too soon.
Mike Larson, take us home. Last call.
Mike Janky Joke Buzzer Larson here. Jim, you know why my wife doesn't smoke a cigarette after we have sex?
I don't know, buddy. Why?
She says one drag is enough.
Good job, buddy. Not bad. Good job, guys. It was a good last call today.
There it is.
Sometimes they suck. Today was good. All right, like I said, Danny coming up tomorrow for Date Night Done Right from Orlando Date Night Guide. Find out what's happening in Orlando, get some good cheap dates, some good ideas, and, of course, we'll do Cobra Court with our buddy Glenn Klausman. Your calls, texts, and talkbacks all day long. Plus, I believe your last day of Tacos for Talkbacks?
That's right.
That's right. So we'll do that all tomorrow for sure. On behalf of Deb, Jack, and Ross, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the monsters in the morning. After us, it's Tom Dan with the